Okay, well, let's play. Let's get ready and play. Practice, all right.
Ready to get the football evening underway. McLaughlin lifts it down to the 20-yard line. Donnie Ashley for the Eskimos on the return. And he's swarmed under, short of the 40-yard line. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Midas Car Care, the way it should be. Rookie starter Nealon Green looks to build on a record week. And Herbie and Terry Vaughn are his key receivers. And up front, it's number 218 for Leo Groenwagen. He's never missed a game in his CFL career. Nealon Green, just a sensational week for the Eskimos against Saskatchewan. Eskimos with a spread offense. Green, a little shovel pass. And there's a flag down immediately. Terry Vaughn took the pass from Nealon Green.
The flag will be face masking.
Major foul, face mask, Calgary 92.
Steve Anderson. Steve Anderson, the first play of the game. Wally Buono talked about discipline, how last week he felt that his team lacked discipline. He wants to see more of it from them tonight, and already Steve Anderson starts off the game with a penalty.
That'll move the Eskimos out to midfield and just across into Stampeder territory. Ed Herbie, the wide receiver, to the near side of the field. Eskimos keep it on the ground. That's Bobby Phillips, number 22.
Defensively for the Calgary Stampeders, Bronzell Miller enters the lineup. He'll have to chase down Nealon Green, and also Jason Clement is in for the injured Daryl Hall, who could have played if this was a playoff game, but they will rest him. And in the secondary, William Hampton and Marvin Coleman on the corners, two of the best in the business.
Not many changes back there for the Stampeders. It'll be 2nd and 9 Eskimos just across midfield. Nealon Green operating from the shotgun. Looks to put this one up. A hole open briefly, and the Stampeders closed it very quickly. Ray Jacobs leading the tacklers, number 84.
Ray Jacobs moves out to the outside. Last week against BC, he played inside, but they feel that Jacobs is one of the fastest rush guys they have in Calgary, so they want to put him out on the edge. Make sure that he has the ability to chase down Nealon Green, who, like you mentioned, John, had the huge game last week versus Saskatchewan. 180 yards rushing for Nealon Green last week.
Just a sensational week as he broke a record established by Damon Allen by a few yards. Matt Kellett will punt to Marvin Coleman.
Hands, gentlemen, hands!
Slight breeze at his back, and Coleman takes it on one hop down near the 15. He's surrounded immediately and dragged down Justin Ring in on the tackle. So Dave Dickinson and the Calgary Stampeders get set to go now. Dickinson's third start of the year. Marcus Dowdell, his first in the same backfield as All-Stars Alan Pitts and Vince Danielson and Kelvin Anderson. The face up front is Byron Thomas to beef up a shaky offensive line. Dickinson, the second leading passer in the CFL as it stands right now, but not happy with his play last week. He coughed up a couple of interceptions, and the Stampeders couldn't recover. On first down, Dickinson on target, but Danielson couldn't hang on.
Defensively for the Edmonton Eskimos, a newcomer in the front four will be Eric Johnson, replacing the injured Doug Peterson, who's out with a rib injury. Justin Ring, BJ Gallus, and Marcelo Simmons on the linebacking core. And in the secondary, the newcomer on the corner and the rookie, Anthony Fogel. He will be tested tonight.
2nd and 10, Stampeders out across the 15. 3 receivers to the near side. Dickinson shotgun. There was early movement.
Marcelo Simmons is coming off the corner. I want to see if they were drawn offside or if it was in fact legal procedure. They'll huddle up make sure they get the call right. Yes, we're coming with a blitz. This is a interesting matchup tonight, John, when you think about the fact that the two teams pretty similar records in the first 2 weeks.
Calgary 62.
A 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 15 at the Calgary 12.
Second down over again, 15 to go. Stampeders were early in the opening quarter at McMahon Stadium, Calgary. Dickinson shotgun. Fake to the outside. Travis Moore made the catch.
In training camp, they had 4 import offensive linemen in to try and replace Fred Childress. None of them were all that great. They tried to go with Chris Williams last week. He didn't work out, so in comes Byron Thomas, and he is a big one. Byron Thomas right here from North Carolina. The guy weighs 325 pounds, and they hope that he will shore up that offensive line, who has struggled in week 1 and 2 of the season.
Not quite as big as Fred Childress, the man they're trying to replace up along that offensive line. They feel he's a little more athletic and skilled than the player who was in that spot last week.
Hands, gentlemen, hands.
McKenzie will give up 2 points here in favor of field position. So the Eskimos have first blood. It's 2-0 at McMahon in Calgary. They were slow with that. Hey, Chop.
Please welcome your 1999 Frank Sisson Silver Dollar Action Casino Outriders.
Did you hear what I was asking for? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on spare again. So if you can just give me a half a second, you know, in the pileup, because we're a long way away. We'll be better later in the game too, but. They really lost field position on that penalty, didn't they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they lost some real estate there.
Can we hear them then? It'd be really great to hear their what they're saying to us if we could hear off air. Who won?
Great crowd.
Sorry, Mac, is there any chance we can hear them? Okay. Oh, we're thanking James, okay. All right, James, and this is perfect here. A great crowd and 2 arch rivals at McMahon Stadium. Both the Eskimos and the Stampeders are 1-1, and we're underway early in the opening quarter with a nice return out to the 40-yard line and across, out to the 50 and across midfield. The Eskimos with a super return from Donnie Ashley, number 87. Rookie starter Nealon Green looks to build on a record week. Ed Hervey and Terry Vaughn are his 2 key receivers. Rookie Bobby Phillips plays his second game. Up front, it's number 218 for Leo Groenwagen. He's never missed one in his CFL career. Just underway, the Eskimos on top 2-0 on a 2-point safety conceded by the Stampeders.
Early penalty trouble for the Calgary Stampeders. Had to give up the safety. Now Nealon Green already has great field position in this game.
Tonight's Outlook brought to you by the Weather Network. And a wonderful evening in southern Alberta. 24 degrees. The wind could be a bit of a factor here this evening. It's northwest, gusting to 26 kilometers an hour.
Beautiful night and a big crowd here at McMahon Stadium. It's looking forward to a great football game tonight between two teams that don't really like each other. Never have and probably never will.
Never will. 21,173 season tickets have been sold at McMahon Stadium this season. And you're looking at the brand new artificial turf. It is absolutely gorgeous down on the field. 1st and 10, the Eskimos at the 35 after a 64-yard kickoff return. Nealon Green is wrapped up and then escapes. He's got room to the outside. Green ran for a record 180 yards last week, and he's off to a great start at McMahon tonight.
Well, the defense for Calgary are going to have their hands full. Up front, Bronzell Miller enters the lineup after a tryout in the San Diego Chargers. He will play inside and try to chase down Nealon Green, Elijah Johnson, and Jason Clement back there in for Darryl Hall. And in the secondary, William Hampton and Marvin Coleman, two of the best in the business on the corners.
Quick start by the Eskimos against the Calgary Stampeders, a veteran defense. 21 yards for Nealon Green on the previous carry. The Eskimos are set up near the 15. Green shotgun, looks to the end zone and fires underneath the cover to Terry Vaughn. He's nailed by the second man through. Kevin Johnson.
Well, this is what happened earlier in this football game. After a couple of penalties, Calgary got backed up and then had to concede the safety. Scott McKenzie runs around and gives the 2 points to the Edmonton Eskimos, and then they have to kick off, and now all of a sudden, Edmonton knocking on the door once again.
Terry Vaughn, the great ex-Stampeder wide receiver, has moved inside with the Eskimos and picked up 5 on the previous play. On 2nd and 5, Green may take off again. He's got some running room, broke a tackle down to the 5, and the Eskimos will have a first down. Stampeders had a plan to stop Nealon Green. They haven't been very effective at doing it on this drive.
Well, Nealon Green wanted to go backside here, but he couldn't because safety Greg Frères, right there in your screen, number 12, moves over and takes away the throwing lane. So Green has to pull it down and then just use his ability in the open field. Great game. You know, Dom Matthews said in the press conference yesterday about his game last week, I'm talking of Nealon Green, and that he finally figured out that his legs can be a weapon.
Yeah, well, they certainly were last week. No question about that against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He established the record that everyone's been talking about all week long, most yards rushing by a quarterback. And that was in his second start for the Edmonton Eskimos. Edmonton did get the first down, so it's 1st and goal to go from just outside the 5. 2 receivers near side. Green, a little play action. And Phillips, in his second game with the Eskimos, runs into a Stampeder brick wall. That's Bobby Phillips, number 22.
That was a great surge by the front four from Calgary and Alondra Johnson. Johnson and Johnson did a nice job filling the hole there.
It's nice to see a couple of Johnsons back in that Calgary defense. Remember, they used to have 3 of them. Alondra has hung in for a while. Will Johnson used to be there a few years ago.
That's right.
But now they have Kevin Johnson. So there's Johnson and Johnson there. Sounds like the pharmaceutical company. Green on 2nd down, looks to the end zone, hit the uprights.
Dead ball.
And they call it a dead ball.
Automatic dead ball when it hits the uprights.
Donnie Ashley took it on the bounce off the crossbar.
Little bit of a blitz from Calgary. They're going to go with Greg Frères on the safety blitz, coming right up the middle along with Kevin Johnson. Nealon Green reads it. They're going to try and make Nealon Green read coverage, but he throws it and hits it right off the crossbar. And of course, as soon as the ball touches the upright, it's dead. So that is no touchdown. And Nealon Green, can't believe it, has a receiver wide open in the end zone, and that 13th defender knocks it down.
Dinged one right off the crossbar. Stampeders are lucky there, Glenn.
No question.
Here's the barefooted John Baker to try his first field goal in regular season action. He's from Arizona and saves on one shoe as he hammers that one through to give the Eskimos a 5-0 lead. John Baker did not play In the first week, he's out there tonight, and the Eskimos are on top.
I tried to use it twice there, and both times it didn't work very well.
How are we doing?
I was circling like mad on Greg Freres. Seems to be all right, though.
It's a lot easier to start from scratch, but
Yeah.
I think we got into a bit of a flow. It was good we were calling it along the way, even though we weren't quite at the... I know, I say it's a lot easier to start from scratch, you know, but we didn't get off to too bad a start there. Let's try and fit a lot of things in.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Got to show how the points were scored. We haven't. Oh.
How you doing? All right. Whoa, we got a Matthews line here.
Calgary Stampeders next home game will be Thursday, August 5th at 7:30 against the BC Lions. Tickets for the Lions and Stampeders on sale at the Stampeders ticket office on the east side of the fan stadium.
Edmonton head coach Don Matthews is lucky and good. He has 23 new faces in his lineup for 1999. And last week he found a new star in rookie quarterback Nealon Green, who set that CFL record.
Well, Wally Buono has led his team to 7 first-place finishes, which is tied for a CFL record. Tied with the guy across the field from him right now in Don Matthews. So either one of these teams finished first this year, they get the rubber match.
These guys like playing each other. Kelvin Anderson off tackle out to the 40-yard line. Dave Dickinson hitting on 58% of his passes, still not happy. He's got Marcus Dowdell as a new receiver in the core, along with Vince Danielson and Alan Pitts. And in the backfield, there's Kelvin Anderson. Up front, there's one newcomer at left guard, and he's number 69. Mr. Thomas, he's big.
Yeah, you have to call him Mr. He's a big one, 325. And that's what it says in the program.
2nd and 5. Stampeders try and get something going. Second possession. Dickinson goes deep, and he's got his targets. But Dowdell couldn't turn around and hang on. He was behind the cover, but he couldn't bring it home.
Defensively for the Edmonton Eskimos, the newcomer up front will be Eric Johnson. He replaces the injured Doug Peterson out with the rib injury. B.J. Gallows plays the middle linebacker position. And in the secondary, the newcomer and rookie on the corner is Anthony Fogel. Chris Hardy will get the start. There was some thought that Terry Ray would start tonight, but Hardy is okay to play and will start at free safety.
Hardy missed last week. He had a cyst on his kidney and was unable to play under doctor's orders, but he is back. And we'll call the signals for the
Keep an eye on that center.
Eskimos defense.
Hands, gents, hands, hands, hands.
Scott McKenzie's kick is not deep. Bouncing near the 40 and picked up by McKenzie himself. He's on a tear to the end zone. Flags are down, but this should be a touchdown for Scott McKenzie. How about that?
That
Nice
is
to have speed in the kicking core.
That's a heads-up play. A huge play by a kicker who's new to this league. First-year kicker Scott McKenzie, great heads-up play. He's kicking into the wind, so he probably thought about it going in. If he shanks one or kicks it high and the wind holds it up, he can recover it. And that's Don Matthews knows better. I mean, Don Matthews will tell his team someone accounts for the kicker on every single play. I mean, here's the snap. He's going to let this one rip. Now, he notices right away that it's hanging and takes off. No one picks him up.
Now, Ashley, number 87 for the Eskimos, hesitated a little bit there, and that's how McKenzie grabbed the ball.
And he gets the great one-hopper, the Calgary bounce, and he's in the end zone.
40-yard touchdown, and that livens things up at the old corral, doesn't it?
Especially early in the season, a lot of the imports are still wondering what happened. Is that allowed?
Can you do that up there?
Is that allowed up here?
Well, Scott McKenzie knows, and ironically, he was originally drafted by the Edmonton Eskimos. Here comes Blue. Karen Drake on board, celebrating the Stampeder touchdown on the far side of the field.
This is the type of thing that Don Matthews will, you know, he'll address the team right away. I'll say, who is in charge of taking the punter? And someone in every scheme is in charge of each player, and someone was in charge of Scott McKenzie and just forgot about him.
On the list, Rick Campbell is the special teams coach along with linebackers for the Edmonton Eskimos. So a slight error there, but perhaps more on Ashley's part for not reacting better to the football. There's Rick Campbell talking to the coach now and explaining himself. Scott McKenzie, first touchdown of this ball game.
Well, it's worth one more look because you don't often see the punter get a chance to score on a touchdown. And there he goes on the one hop. And Ashley really didn't understand the rule by the looks of it because he stood there. He thought he was going to get the no yards call. The flags flew, but of course the punter is allowed to recover his own kick, or anyone behind the punter for that matter.
McKenzie didn't even need a block. He was all by himself.
Well, he got the great one hop.
Yeah. Stampeders kick it off. Ashley is deep. Across the 25. Donnie Ashley. Another nice return. He's out to the 40. There's no gizmo in the Eskimo lineup tonight. He's watching from the sidelines, a healthy scratch.
What a game Elon Green had last week. We've mentioned it. 14 carries, 180 yards, just ran through the Saskatchewan defense. He used a combination of great athletic ability, running the football. You know, Don Matthews gave him the green light from day one to go off, run with it when he wants to, but he also got some help from a good scheme set up by Dieter Brock and Don Matthews.
That was his longest run last week, 40 yards. Green gets his hands on the football again here now. Inside his 30-yard line to put it up. Man open, and the interception by Greg Frears. Nice return. It's all going Calgary's way all of a sudden. Greg Frears picks it up, and Elon Green has thrown an interception early as the Stampeders have the lead at 7-5, and they have the football as we continue in just a moment on CFL Live from McMahon Stadium in Calgary.
Mac, what are we going to?
8th career interception for Greg.
Do we see him? Because he really played it nicely. And this is what they want to do. They want to make him a drop back passer, make him read coverage. Yeah, he's right here. And drop and then just break.
This would be a good time to show your X's and O's if you had time.
Can you hold it? Can you? Hey Mac, could you stop it just before he makes his break? Okay. I just want to point something out what Elon Green did. This is what they want to do. Like if you keep going, and stop it right there. Then what? Look where Elon Green is looking. That's where he's looking the whole play. Greg Frears sees it.
What do you got?
Comes out of his break.
Okay. Well,
and it's all over that football. Okay.
Can you hold that too? You got another spot?
Sweet.
Just to remind me of what's going on. You got a spot for it? I mean, you can tuck it. It doesn't have to be out all the time. I'll ask for that. That'll be that's the turnovers pick. Yeah, you can hold it right on top of there for now. Is that his first interception? No, second. Yeah. Stampeders first, but Elon second, I think. Elon Green has tossed his second interception of the season and set the Calgary Stampeders up nice and pretty inside the 35.
The Stamps want to make Elon Green a drop-back passer. Watch Greg Frears read Elon Green's eyes. Elon Green has got to learn to look off coverage. Now, right here, Elon Green, the whole way on this play, was looking to this side of the field. It made for an easy read for Greg Frears. He breaks on the football and is all over it. This is exactly what Calgary wants to do defensively.
Stamps 1st and 10, Eskimo 31. Dave Dickinson looks over the middle. He has Danielson. Vince Danielson down to the 1-yard line. 36 yards. Torrey Hunter was the victim.
The surgeon, Dave Dickinson, just made a perfect incision into the Edmonton defense.
I think that's very good, Hemingway.
Well, the pass was right on the spot. Torrey Hunter was in pretty good coverage. You can't cover a receiver any better than that. And Vince Danielson comes up with a catch, but the ball was put right on the money, and you know what?
They're bringing it back.
They're going to bring it back.
Stampeders guilty of holding, so it's back to the 41-yard line now, 1st and 20. And that one hurts Dave Dickinson because it would have looked super on the highlight reel. 36 yards the gain, down to the 1.
And good for his confidence.
Absolutely. Stamp started very slowly last week. Dickinson puts it up again, wide open receiver. Down to the 30-yard line. It's Aubrey Cummings, number 87.
Aubrey Cummings gets a lot of playing time when it's the 5 receiver pack. 1 running back in the backfield, the fullback comes out. That's Dwayne Ford, and Aubrey Cummings comes in to help with the passing attack. And, you know, talking to Wally Buono about Cummings, he said that the guy really is ready to be a starter in this league. And fortunately, they're happy with their core, and he will get a lot of playing time as the 5th receiver.
Cummings picked up 11. This is 2nd and 9, Stampeders. Dickinson, 4 receivers to the far side. That one was tipped. Across the middle is Dickinson. Also paid the price and ended up on his shorts.
B.J. Gallus comes on the blitz. B.J. Gallus for Edmonton has really become the blitzing linebacker. He's going to sneak up in there and hit the gap between the center and the guard, and is in Dave Dickinson's face in a hurry.
What the Eskimos have really done with this defense is added a ton of speed. There are a lot of changes back there. In fact, when you look at it, Leroy Bloom, Malvin Hunter, and who else were around last year? Maybe Robert Brown. The rest is all new.
Yeah. It
Davis
really is.
Reed, too.
Davis Reed, that's right. I mean, you're looking at a whole new group. They feel they've really increased their speed, but it depends on how long it'll take to play together.
Mark McLaughlin, he's on target. 5th field goal of the year. Stampeders have scored on back-to-back drives and have 10 on the board. The Eskimos scored twice early, but only total 5, so it's 10-5. Stampeders on top of the Eskimos. We're in the opening quarter with 5:06 to go.
What a great playoff in Grey Cup Mark McLaughlin had. I mean, must have been nice for Wally Buono down the stretch last year to know he had a veteran kicker in Mark McLaughlin, who went 4 for 4 in the Western Final, and then in the Grey Cup game went 4 for 5. And of course, fans in this stadium will remember the last one he kicked.
Absolutely.
With no time on
that
the
was
clock.
in Winnipeg Stadium.
That's right.
Todd Matthews was celebrating a great victory last week after losing to the BC Lions in week 1. Nealon Green, the star of that show. And although he's thrown 1 interception here tonight, he's still been very effective running the football. He'll get his hands on it in just a moment.
And Don Matthews said that with Nealon Green, it's a bit of a learning curve. Don Matthews likes to set up an offense that fits the talents of his quarterback. So he says, we're still trying to figure out what those talents are, and that takes time. We want to know exactly what Nealon Green does well, and then we'll set the game plan around that.
Stampeder kickoff coming down to Donnie Ashley. He's across the 30 and nailed by the first man down. Cameron Legault, 17 yards on the return, 60 yards was the kickoff that time. Keys to success for the Eskimos tonight, Glenn.
Well, I think they have to make Nealon Green a passer. They can't let him run around with the football. They have to get on. Terry Vaughn's going to have to get open. He's going to get a lot of coverage tonight and a lot of double coverage. And
so he's got to beat the double team.
He's got to beat the double team and pressure Dave Dickinson, and they've done a good job of that. B.J. Gallus was already in his face in the first quarter.
Eskimos beginning at the 33, 1st down, trailing by 5. Nealon Green shotgun. He's on target, and that'll be a 1st down. Donnie Ashley, number 87, makes the catch. Ashley 5 for 49 coming into this game.
Talk about guys with the great speed. That's why Donnie Ashley has been able to stay in the lineup when there's been some juggling. They really like the speed they have in this lineup. Ashley's not a big guy. He's only 5'7", 175. Helps out on the return game, and boy, can he fly when he gets the ball.
1st and 10. He faked the little shovel pass and now takes off. Nealon Green sliding safely across the 50-yard line. Boy, he's effortless out there. They're comparing him to a young Damon Allen and even a little Ricky Foggy in the way he handles the football.
Yeah, the way he carries it, kind of out like a loaf of bread in one hand, it looks a little bit like Ricky Foggy, and he runs as smooth as maybe a Damon Allen. And you know, I mean, it's hard to compare a quarterback in his third start to a guy like Damon Allen, who's been around a long time. But boy, this guy has a lot of athletic ability.
Well, Wally Buono was doing that yesterday, saying it reminded him of Allen. On target, this is Ed Hervey making his CFL debut last week and playing in his second game now.
Well, as we talk about Nealon Green, I think one of the keys for the Calgary Stampeders, of course, will be to be disciplined in their pass rush. And what I mean by that is keep him in the pocket. Don't take any chances. They got to get Calvin Anderson the football, and the secondary's got to generate some turnovers. And already Greg Frères has one on the board.
That was Calgary's first interception of 1999. 3 receivers each side as Green fires, and he's on the money down to the 25. Terry Vaughn, another big catch for the Edmonton Eskimos. He went to Edmonton, he says, because he wanted to be the go-to guy somewhere, and he wasn't in Calgary.
And Don Matthews assured him that that would be his role in this offense. He will be the go-to guy. Don Matthews has a history of designing offenses around one receiver. Think back to pinball in Toronto, or then Mitchell the next year.
4 receivers to the far side, and coming underneath, it's Vaughn again. Down inside the 10, Terry Vaughn making things happen for the Eskimos on this drive. Wrapped up by Marvin Coleman.
Well, so far we talked about those Edmonton keys. One is Terry Vaughn shaking coverage. Well, you think that he'd get a little more attention than he's getting right now. Kevin Johnson kind of gets caught in the mix there and doesn't get out of his drop. But when you get time like this, Nealon Green will be able to find him all day. Good protection up front.
7 yards for Vaughn. Eskimos set up inside the 10. First and goal to go from there. Nealon Green had an opportunity earlier, hit the crossbar. Can't find the target. And has an opportunity to follow right into the end zone. Touchdown, his second of the season. Nealon Green just tucked in beside, or at least behind, Val St. Germain and took it all the way. He's exciting.
Boy, is he ever. Boy, is he ever fun to watch. You know, Don Matthews talked about the young stars in Wally Buono, the new young stars emerging in this league, and Nealon Green appears to be one of them. I mean, he has no one to throw the football to. Pressure all around him. Bronzell Miller was right in his face. He did a big mistake by jumping, and Nealon Green just bought time until he could find a lane.
So Nealon Green ran for 1 last week. He has 1 on the board here, and the Eskimos are on top once more. 12-10 pending the convert.
Thought it was interesting the comment Don Matthews made yesterday when he said, you know, it reminds me a bit of my days in BC with Roy DeWalt. He said that's probably the best comparison I can make with this Edmonton organization, because he said in Toronto with Doug Flutie, I went fishing for 3 days and no one was noticed I was even gone.
Well, that's right. And some were pointing out that Don Matthews had a little bit of an easy run with some of the quarterbacks that he's had through his career. I mean, Tracy Ham and Doug Flutie, to mention a couple.
That's right. And he said, you know, back in the early days when I had Roy DeWalt, he said it was similar because going into that year, Joe Paupow was the starting quarterback. And what I did is declared Roy DeWalt the starter. That's just like he's done now with Nealon Green. After week 1, Don Matthews said Nealon Green will be my starter. It's helped him. It's helped his confidence level. He knows that Green knows if he makes a mistake now in the football game, he's not going to get yanked.
They're attending to Eddie Davis. And he's being helped off the field by Pat Clayton and George Hopkins on the left. George Hopkins has been the Stampeders equipment manager for 23 years now. When the Stamps play football on his birthday, July 29th, they are 16-0. I guess they play on his birthday.
I wonder if that's
fairly frequently.
I wonder if that's part of the process when they do the schedule. They say, well, we want to make sure we have at least 1 game on George's birthday.
John Baker barefoots the convert through, and the Eskimos, on the strength of the running of Nealon Green and a couple of nice passes too, have the lead at 13-10.
When I chatted with him before the game, he just seemed so calm and relaxed all of a sudden. You know, we did that game, they lost to the BC Lions, and you know, he was a little more nervous, and of course that was the first game of the year, so that's understandable. But now that he's the starter, and Don Matthews has said it's your offense to run, he's more confident. He says, you know what, it feels like college. Of course, played at Clemson, and he said, I'm just running around having a lot of fun, and that's tough.
They had him cornered, Glenn. They really did.
Well, that's tough to tackle. I mean, great moves and good leg strength. Nice
dive and followed number 57 into the end zone.
The Calgary Sun is proud to be a major sponsor of the Calgary Stampeders, and pleased.
So the Eskimos on top. It is 12-10 on Nealon Green's 4 carries for 49 yards and 1 touchdown.
Well, you mentioned that Henry Williams is not on the roster. The reason for that is John Baker, the shoeless John Baker.
Shoeless John.
Matt Kellett has a bit of a groin injury, can't do the place kicking. John Baker's on the roster, played in the preseason, and that's why Henry Williams did not dress for this game.
This is Rock Preston returning for Calgary, away from 1. Nice return brewing. He's out to the 40. Wrapped up by Terry Ray, 32 yards on the return. And Rock Preston, in his first year with the Calgary Stampeders out of Florida State, sets Calgary up. The scoring drive covered 77 yards in just 6 plays.
Well, it was the Vaughn drive, really. It was capped off by a nice run by Nealon Green, but Terry Vaughn very involved in that drive. And you think that the Calgary Stampeders, as this game goes on, will start to give a little more attention to Terry Vaughn. Maybe some double coverage, like we mentioned, may happen early in this game, and often.
Marcus Crandall watching from the sidelines, and there's Vaughn. Had some great years with the Calgary Stampeders, no doubt about it. He was an outside receiver here for 3 years and over 1,000 yards in his last 3 seasons. Stampeders begin. 1st and 10. Calvin Anderson trying to cut it back up inside and gets to the 45. We talked about trying to use Calvin Anderson a little bit more effectively. They might have a little better chance against Eric Johnson than they had against the BC Lions last week. Johnson moving into the middle for the first time, although he's played there, but he's set to play the whole game with Doug Peterson on the sidelines.
And this will be a matchup that we'll watch through this game. Marcelo Simmons will have to go out and cover Calvin Anderson if he vacates the backfield in the pass patterns.
On 2nd down, it's Anderson again, and he'll have plenty for the first. He's out to the 50. Wrapped up by Justin Ring.
John, you mentioned the importance of Calvin Anderson. Heading into this game, 4 for 41 yards rushing the football, or excuse me, 16 for 67. He was 4 for 41 catching it. This will be a matchup that we'll watch. Calvin Anderson and Marcelo Simmons. That's what he did last year. That average for 1,000 yards, 1,300 yards. He was averaging about 5.6 yards a carry. This year, after 2 games, that's dropped way down to 4 yards. Marcelo Simmons and Calvin Anderson will get to know each other in this game, but Calgary needs Anderson's support. They need him running the football.
Dickinson took a little too long. Looked like Rocco Romano might have moved a little early down there on the left side.
Illegal procedure. Calgary 59, 1st down repeated.
Rocco is playing in his 201st CFL game and didn't want to be singled out for that particular situation down there, but 201 games is a nice run, no doubt.
No question. Once you put that hand down and into a 3-point stance, you can't pick it up again.
1st and 15. Dickinson has been hot. Out across the 55. Travis Moore one more time, number 83, wrapped up by the middle linebacker, B.J. Gallus. That's the end of quarter number 1 with the Eskimos and the Stampeders in a seesaw battle on a perfect evening at McMahon. It's 12-10 after the opening 15. Heidi ho, how you guys doing down there? You having any fun yet? We got too many stories here. It's like Hemingway sitting up. How about the Stamps franchise? We got that. We got
What about the new turf?
new turf. A nice pan would be nice. Oh. Okay, well, we won't do that. Yeah, except it's Sherry's pan now. I can't direct this show and produce it too.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
We'd like a score from that other game if you've got it. Winnipeg, Montreal.
Are they doing that?
Or are they? We'd just like to know if they're going to mention it. That's great. We can't hear them tonight for some reason.
As we well know, the Calgary Stampeders have a
Very faintly. Can you hear them in the background?
Barely. I can't hear what they're saying.
Listen to one of the original Stampeder fight songs, Ye Men of Calgary.
Wally Buono goes back a long way with Don Matthews. They hooked up against each other back in the Big Sky Conference in the 70s when Matthews was a coach at Idaho and Buono was a linebacker at Idaho State. They have great respect for each other. We had a good time at the news conference yesterday.
Yeah, it was, each guy had a chance to talk about the other guy's accomplishments.
Yeah. Now, do you think Wally was blowing a little too much smoke about Nealon Green telling Don how great a quarterback he was going to be?
Well, I don't
like it might have been a little bit of a setup.
Well, you certainly don't want to give the opposing team or coach any fuel. So at that point, day before the game, you're saying, gee, you have a good team over there.
You really do,
You
don't
really
you?
put together a nice squad.
Stampeders second down. Dickinson on the roll. He has Alan Pitts, first catch of the night. A big one down to the 40-yard line. He's wrapped up by the cornerback, Anthony Fogel. First quarter numbers brought to you by Castrol. Interesting there. 9 first downs for the Eskimos compared to 2 for the Calgary Stampeders, but it's close on the scoreboard.
Green already with 49 yards rushing after 1 quarter and doing what he did last week.
There are your stats for Castrol GTX. Drive hard. Stamps at the 40, first down. Kelvin Anderson flags her down, and Anderson is away. Dragged down by Chris Hardy. There's an offside we can hear down there.
Yeah, well, there's
23-yard game.
Edmonton 55.
Yeah, Eric Johnson. There was movement right in the middle of the line. It's Eric Johnson who's in the game replacing Doug Peterson. Peterson has a bit of a rib injury and couldn't play and dress for this game. So Eric Johnson out of Illinois State right there. You see him jump before the snap of the football. And so that was a free one for the Calgary Stampeders. Of course, they will take the play by Kelvin Anderson. He got a lot more yards than the penalty would have.
23 yards. First and 10, Eskimos at the Calgary. Calgary at the Eskimos 17. Anderson ran into a stone wall of Eskimo defenders there. Chris Hardy finally forced him out.
I talked to Calvin Anderson yesterday about not seeing the football very often in the first 2 weeks of the season. He said, you know, I'm starting to get a little frustrated, but I realize my role in the team has to be what Wally Buono wants it to be, and definitely not going to say anything. He's not going to make a big stink about it, but he said he sure would like to see the football more.
Well, Wally definitely wants it to be more than 16 carries for 67 yards in 2 games. Another marker down.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary 62. Second down.
Another undisciplined penalty by the Stampeders. Wally will be fuming a little bit because he gave us that lecture yesterday.
Jung-Yo Kim gets called on the unnecessary roughness. Wally said that he addressed the team after the BC game about the penalties. There were 32 penalties in that game, some of them very undisciplined. Penalties that happen after the fact, after the play, after the whistle. He said, from now on, I made it very simple for the team. If they get a penalty for unnecessary roughness after the whistle, they will be fined. It's going to hit him in the pocketbook. So Jung-Yo Kim, paycheck is going to look a little lighter this week.
2nd and 24. Dickinson uses the shotgun and 4 receivers to the far side. He's not going to get it away. Down at the 40 and wrapped up by B.J. Gallus, number 98. Gallus has 1 sack to his credit so far in 99. That's number 2.
Sometimes it's a design play from B.J. Gallus, and we saw that earlier in the first quarter, how he went on a blitz and got involved in the pass rush. But sometimes it's just a great athletic play, and that last one was just good speed by B.J. Gallus, who used to be a member of the BC Lions, and at that time was just a defensive end, never played linebacker with BC.
Mark McLaughlin, 1 of 1 from 37 yards. This from 47. Spotted by Dickinson right there.
Hands, Jets, hands.
He's got it. Mark McLaughlin on target. The Stamps jump out in front by a point. What a great ball game we've got cooking at McMahon tonight. This is a nice ball game, isn't it? Yeah. Back live at McMahon and ready for an Edmonton Eskimo first down at the 35. Calgary on top by a point. It's 13-12, and here's Nealon Green behind his intended receiver. Bobby Phillips, number 22, in his second game, and Green was just a little bit off. Phillips might have been able to make the catch, though.
Well, what I found interesting about the play was that Phillips was lined up out there on Marvin Coleman. Now, this is what they did against Saskatchewan last week. They put their running backs way out wide. The way Saskatchewan played it was to go out with linebackers to cover those guys, and that's why Nealon Green had a lot of success. Now Calgary looks like is going to keep their linebackers in there.
From the 35, markers down on 2nd and 10. Bond made the catch. He's short of the first down. But we'll check the infractions back near the line of scrimmage. William Hampton wrapped him up. The gain, if it stands, will be 7. And the Eskimos needed 10.
Well, the refs sorted out. Nealon Green sprints to the bench, get a little more instruction from Don Matthews, maybe a couple plays in a row, depending on what happens with the penalty.
Don Matthews thought it was just a logical step to wind up as the head coach of the Eskimos.
Illegal contact on the receiver, Calgary number 30. Offside, Edmonton number 31. Second down repeated.
So a washout there. Matthews began his coaching career in Edmonton in 1977, was the defensive coordinator for Hugh Campbell for the 5 Grey Cups in a row beginning in 1978.
And I think he would like to end his career in Edmonton.
But not too quickly. He figures he wants to coach for quite a few more years. From the 40, 2nd and 5. Nealon Green looks deep. Nice pass. Ashley couldn't bring it down. Tight coverage by Khari Williams, number 30.
With Eddie Davis out of the lineup and on the bench, icing his knee, Khari Williams gets a chance to play. He is a raw rookie out of Youngstown and had a great training camp. It's why he's on the roster, gets a chance to play. And with Eddie Davis out, he's got the right under the fire.
Marvin Coleman back for a 3rd down punt. Matt Kellett back at his 25 to kick for Edmonton. Coleman is the all-time leading punt returner in Stampeder history. Nice hole opened up. It parted like the Red Sea. And a 14-yard return for Coleman as we look over the beautiful turf here at McMahon Stadium. It's brand new. Here's Sherry Hargrave.
Yes, that's right. This $1.7 million for this new state-of-the-art AstroTurf here at McMahon Stadium, but the Stampeders say it's worth every cent of it for the safety of their players. See, the numbers and the lines, the yard lines, are not painted on like they are on most turfs. It's actually colored turf, so it's not slippery and it won't get hard over the years. As well, the turf is not supposed to be slippery when it rains outside. However, I don't think they'll have to test that theory today. Not a cloud in the sky.
Perfect night. Here's Dickinson near side, and the newcomer, the ex-Eskimo Marcus Dowdell, can't bring it down. The stadium has been around a few years.
Yeah.
Since 1960, the artificial turf first installed in 1975, and price isn't bad. It's only gone up about $600,000 since they first put it in.
A bit of a bidding war went on this year to get this in here, I heard, and AstroTurf, a company in the States, won the war and did a real nice job. It looks fantastic here in Calgary, and there's a huge crowd to enjoy it.
2nd and 10. Dave Dickinson will come up short of the first down, except Marcus Dowdell broke the tackle. I thought he was stopped. He was in the grass for a second and got away. So it's a big first down for Dowdell, who dropped the previous catch. And he turns this into a 16-yard gain.
Marcus Dowdell is excited about this football game because he was released by Don Matthews, was very upset that he was released. Matthews said he just got beat out by Ed Hervey in that position. So when Marcus Dowdell had a chance to sign with the Calgary Stampeders and understands the rivalry, boy, he jumped at it.
Stampeders at the Eskimo 43, first down. Anderson turns the corner, and Kelvin Anderson has about 8 yards. Forced out on the far side by France Clarkson.
And talk about him not being involved much last week versus BC in their loss. In fairness to George Cortez, the offensive coordinator, and the Stamps, you know, they got behind early in that BC game, and Dave Dickinson really had to abandon the running game, and Kelvin Anderson knew it, so he became a blocking back throughout that football game. But Dave Dickinson, George Cortez, and Wally Buono all want him involved.
Anderson is halfway to 100. Stampeders looking at 2nd and 2. Anderson again. He won't get it this time. The play slow developing, and B.J. Gallus read it well and stuffed Anderson.
B.J. Gallus may just have found his natural position at the linebacking core. He's got great speed, 3 pressures versus the BC Lions. He plugs the hole and then uses pretty good speed to move to the outside. Good lateral movement to get out there and hold Kelvin Anderson short of the yardage.
B.J. Gallus in on the tackle, so was A.J. Gass. So the guys with the initials.
B.J. and A.J.
B.J. A.J. there.
Got Johnson and Johnson and B.J. and A.J. on the other team.
Try and keep them separate for you. Here's Mark McLaughlin. 2 for 2 tonight from 37 and 47. Definitely within range. Dickinson has it down. McLaughlin has it up and good. Stampeders pad the lead with a 43-yard field goal from Mark McLaughlin. Great doings in Calgary on CFL Live. Okay, we're out of stories now. What do you want to do next? Haven't we done that? Well,
we kind of did that.
I got lots of time for Danielson, but we should. I'd really like to put that down to get that one in tonight, because they put out the the Danielson one somewhere, but we don't have to do it right now. I just think the timing is good and we get first crack at it.
And I don't think there was money for yards. Did you hear the exact on that? Because I didn't see it in that release. He brings 2 kids. Yeah, he's out.
Eddie's gone. Think anybody else hurt back there?
No, he's out.
Like nobody's coming off.
Jack Kellogg was coming off a hamstring from camp.
You want the prescription from your eye doctor to wear one of those?
Oh, yeah, right.
Next home game, August 5th, versus the BC Lions.
Some question whether Terry Vaughn would be able to play or not tonight for the Edmonton Eskimos in his first game back to Calgary. He had an infection of the lymph nodes and was on antibiotics, but it was a pretty good bet that he was going to get into the lineup one way or the other to play the guys in red and white.
Yeah.
And he's there tonight. He's made an impact. First and 10 Edmonton after the field goal. Nealon Green can't find anyone open. Now steps up and does. He's got Scott Dybert. Markers are down as Dybert breaks a tackle. He'll go all the way. Scott Dybert into the end zone for the Eskimos. What a great play, 75 yards. Now, there's a marker down the field, however.
It's in the area of a late hit on Nealon Green. That's where the flag was thrown. But you know what? It's coming back.
I thought I picked it up after the reception was made.
Offensive pass interference. Edmonton 22. First down repeated.
Then again, I'm wrong.
Bobby Phillips, somewhere down the field, but called on pass interference.
And Dybert heads back along with Bobby Phillips.
Well, the way the play was set up, it could have been the situation where there was a pick play downfield, and that's why Dybert got so wide open on it. The officials saw it, and not only will Don Matthews see that touchdown wiped off the board, but he's also now seen a whole lot of real estate lost.
75 yards, and it was really a terrific play.
The Calgary Stampeders first in football.
So back to the drawing board. Technically speaking, an 85-yard penalty. It's first and 20. Eskimos back at the 25. Nealon Green airs it out. Target far side. Catch is made by Ed Hervey. This guy really has speed, Glenn, making his debut during the regular season. Has 31 yards there.
31 yards and an Eskimo.
He was superb in the preseason and a track star at UCLA, so I guess that makes him quick.
Yeah, that'll make him quick if he's running track in college. Yeah, but he was penciled in. I mean, this guy was ready to go as the starter in game one. Hurt himself that week in preparation and couldn't start the season. As soon as he was healthy, they wanted to see Ed Hervey.
Eskimos rolling near midfield. Green stands in, and he has Vaughn again. Vaughn turns the corner. That'll be another first down. Gain is 12 for Terry Vaughn, and Nealon Green looks very cool to me.
Well, and he's becoming a passer. In the first quarter, he just used his legs. He ran around a lot, and then this quarter, now he's all of a sudden become a passer. He's reading defense. He threw a nice shot in there to Ed Hervey. He actually looked off safety in that play, so he's starting to learn as the game progresses, and that's what the coach wants to see.
Three receivers to the far side of the field for Nealon Green. And three to the near side as well. Markers down as Green puts it up. Sideline pattern, and Coleman tried to step in front of that, intended for Ed Hervey.
Hervey's hands ruled incomplete. Offside against the Eskimos.
From the offside Edmonton, if Nealon Green comes away with points in this drive, I mean, there is some poise for a starting quarterback.
Offside. Edmonton number 3. Penalties decline. Second down.
Terry Vaughn there. So it'll be second and 10.
But you think of the poise of Nealon Green. He throws a touchdown strike to Dybert that's called back. He's backed up way into his end of the field, and all of a sudden now, a couple of plays later, has moved the team back down the football and into scoring position.
Good on 8 of 12. Green thus far looking at second and 10 here. And looking to put it up. He takes it down. And wisely eats the ball as he's wrapped up by Steve Anderson, 92.
Big play by Steve Anderson, and I'll explain why, because this is a formation that Nealon Green loves. This is what he used last week versus Saskatchewan. Here's what it looks like. They put the backs out on the outside. What happened in Saskatchewan is the linebackers went out and covered them in man-to-man. Now, right now, Calgary has been changing things up and keeping their linebackers a little tighter so they can help on the run. On that last play, they did move Alondra Johnson out here. They did move Jason Clement out here. That left a lot of room for Nealon Green to run around with the football, but Steve Anderson did a nice job of tracking him down.
Baker now to attempt a 49-yard.
John Baker, the barefoot kicker from Arizona. Now, this may be well and good in Arizona, but have you been to Alberta in November, John?
Heads up, heads up, heads up.
He's got it. John Baker nails his first CFL field goal, barefooted, into a bit of a breeze at McMahon. And it's a 1-point ball game again. Stamps on top, 16-15.
Get some water. Is there any? Can I get some water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, no, that was fine. And I knew you weren't going to switch it. I could tell you weren't going to switch it, so I just drew again. Yeah. Oh, did you put the new title in? Oh, I didn't even notice.
Pay attention.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the
quiz after
I
this.
was looking at the clear button and where everything is.
Did they paint those things on? No.
The lines? No, the lines are not painted on.
Was it tonight?
Oh. Hey, can we see? Hey, Mac, is there a chance to see Mr. Barefoot? I want to say that hot turf story.
How long was that one? 43? 49?
Or maybe we can.
Let me straighten that out, because I said that was his first field goal.
Okay.
But it's his first long one. He had a chip shot earlier.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna. If you want to hold it till later, that's fine.
That's good. We can tell it here. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Kelvin Anderson's back. We got a bunch. John Baker 2 for 2 tonight. I suggested he'd made his first field goal, but that was his first long one of 49 yards. He had a chip shot of 12 earlier.
It was interesting yesterday in practice. John Baker, it was a very hot day here in Calgary when they went out to do their special teams practice, and the turf was very hot, especially the green area on the turf. He couldn't put that barefoot down on the turf because it was too hot. He had to stand in the little white lines in between.
He'll be carrying a towel. Brock Preston returning. Had a nice one earlier. He just about squirted away that time, but he was wrapped up by Terry Ray. A couple of special teams tackles for him. Alan Pitts with just one catch thus far tonight. What a great career he's had in red and white.
Another 1,000-yard year last year, 1,300. And Alan Pitts in 1999 is never played, or in the first 2 weeks so far, hasn't played at 100% yet. He has a bit of a knee problem, something he got worked on in the offseason, and it really hasn't come around to where Alan Pitts would like it.
Pitts an All-Canadian 5 times, including last year. First down Calgary. Dickinson over the middle, and fittingly finds Alan Pitts, but well short of a first down. Wrapped up by Ken Watson.
And a hit like that,
Marcelo Simmons, sorry.
A hit like that from Marcelo Simmons is not going to help the knee out for Alan Pitts.
Closing in on an old pal of yours, Ray Elgard. Is Alan Pitts.
Sure is. That's why they love Simmons. They know he can cover, and he can stop the run, come up and hit you like he did on Pitts right there.
This will be 2nd and 7, Stampeders at the 36. A marker down. Dickinson almost went down too, and likely shouldn't have thrown that one. He got it through to Pitts, but Cavis Reed had an opportunity for an interception.
You know, Dave Dickinson last week versus the BC Lions did not rush the ball that effectively. He didn't run around a whole lot, but he avoided the rush very well. He's got very quick feet, not necessarily fast, but he's got quick feet. And against the Lions, they were all over him a bunch of times.
Calgary, no man, offside, Edmonton 92. We'll repeat 2nd down.
You know, it's one thing. I mean, quarterbacks, sometimes the great runners like Nealon Green, and when we're seeing on the other side, it's the drop-back passer who has the ability to avoid the rush, and Dave Dickinson.
Offensive line playing better tonight, Glenn. Dickinson's looked a little cooler back there and had more time. Shotgun, 2nd and 7. Travis Moore, and fought hard for a first down. Terry Ray wrapped him up. He needed 7, he picked up 9.
Well, I got to say congratulations to Travis Moore, who just had a new son. Here's Travis Moore right here. His name is Trey Jr. They call Travis Moore Trey. And nice second effort by Travis Moore to pick up the first down. So congratulations. And he's a little wide-eyed, getting up all hours of the night with the new one.
Yeah, he was a pretty happy guy, though, as we talked to him before the game.
Yeah.
Coping well with fatherhood. Kelvin Anderson can't get around the corner. A.J. Gass was there, number 41. In the game, 0.
For the Eskimos. No game.
Well, even though Anderson didn't pick up many yards in the play, it's still important to keep pounding him the football. And it's good for two reasons. One is it keeps that defense guessing. The other is this is a young offensive line, like you mentioned. They haven't played together very much, 2 games to be exact. And the more they can run block, the more they can pound it out there and get aggressive, the better they'll play as the game progresses.
2nd and 10. Dickinson gets heat. Got away from it, unloads long. This will be a touchdown. We're going to hang on. Scampering to the end zone. Moore is there. Travis Moore into the end zone. That's 2nd and 10. Dickinson got hammered after throwing the touchdown toss.
Both Travis
Moore got hurt after catching it.
Both Travis Moore and Dave Dickinson are hurt on the play. Dickinson avoided the rush again, found Moore wide open. Obviously a bust by the Edmonton defensive backfield, but they're looking at his shoulder, and Travis Moore, I'm not sure if he's not just catching his breath down there, but well, we'll go back.
Be interesting here. Watch.
We're going to go back and take a look at the Dave Dickinson touchdown pass. First of all, he avoids the rush by Marcelo Simmons off the edge. He gets out of that somehow. Now, at this point, he doesn't look hurt at all.
Didn't get hit, did he?
Looks fine, didn't get hit. Travis Moore fights his way into the end zone. Then all of a sudden, as Dickinson's running down the field, celebrates a couple times, and he gets a pinch in his shoulder.
That's not his throwing arm.
It looked like almost a pinched nerve when he lifted his arm up. And Pat Clayton, the trainer, was looking at Travis Moore's eye, maybe check and make you see if he got poked in the eye. He looks like he'll be fine. And they're trying to figure out how in the celebration Dave Dickinson hurt his shoulder.
Dave Dickinson to Travis Moore, 63 yards, touchdown, and Old Blue is riding again. (23-15) with a convert added for the Stampeders, leading the Eskimos.
Well, that is bizarre, John. I mean, I have seen a lot of weird injuries in my time, but I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback in celebration hurt their shoulder, and he's trying to work it out right now. The good news is for Calgary, it's his non-throwing hand. But I mean, Dave Dickinson, when he comes out of that Marcelo Simmons attempted tackle, here it comes right here, and he's fine there. He's fine there, no problems. When he runs down the field, puts his arm up, all of a sudden feels that pinched nerve. He's like, whoa, that hurt. Man, that is bizarre.
It really is, but Dickinson on the sideline still celebrating down there, and I don't think the pain is too severe. I'm sure he'll be back.
Well, he had to quickly go over to the sideline because he holds on extra points and field goals. So he had to get Jack Kellogg, the backup holder, in the game.
For the Edmonton Eskimos, Donnie Ashley returning into a pileup at the 35. Raymond Biggs leading the tacklers there. Nice scoring drive here, covering 77 yards in 5 plays. The touchdown was the key play.
Yeah, no question, and it was a case of Dave Dickinson avoiding the blitz by Marcelo Simmons. And you know, when you're sending everybody, you're man-to-man in the defensive backfield, and you can't cover for a whole long time in man-to-man. There's too many talented receivers in this league, so when Dickinson avoided the rush, found more wide open.
Edmonton first down. Nealon Green. And another Eskimo first down out at the 45 as Green was right on the money for Donnie Ashley.
Well, this was quite an adjustment by Donnie Ashley to try and get his body around. I mean, he made it look easy, but this was a very difficult catch to make.
So far, it's a big play ball game. And the Stampeders lead the Eskimos 23-15 as we approach the 3-minute timeouts at McMahon. You guys having any fun yet down there?
That's wild. I've never seen that.
Oh.
It's kind of like, it's sort of like, I guess, when you turn your neck the wrong way and you get that pinch, and then for the rest of the day your neck is sore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that pinched nerve.
Stampeders are on top. Their starting quarterback, Dave Dickinson, is shaking off an injury after celebrating this touchdown throw.
And I don't think we'll ever say that again. He had to shake off an injury after the celebration.
Watch this. Left arm up. Ooh.
That hurt. Now, the only thing I could think of is you know when you turn your neck quickly and you get that pinch in your neck? And then your neck hurts for the rest of the... I'm thinking maybe that's probably what happened. You get a little pinch nerve.
I think that could be it. 3:01 to go. Eskimos have the ball first and 10, 46-yard line. Nealon Green looks like the real deal. To Ashley again, and Donnie Ashley is down to the 26.
The Edmonton offense is playing sandlot ball right now. I mean, this is what they're doing. This is just the offense. Is Nealon Green takes the snap. He's just going to keep running around, buy some time, and then the receivers are just making it up as they go along. I mean, Donnie Ashley ran 3 and 4 cut moves down the field.
Almost sidearmed that one to get it through. 20-yard gain. Eskimos set up at the Stampeder 26 now. Put that between 2 receivers and likely didn't really have a good shot at either one. Did he throw it away?
Yeah, I think he just threw it out into the open area. But, you know, one of the reasons he's getting a lot of time is because we talked about the disciplined pass rush that the Calgary defensive line has to continue to do throughout this game. They can't just pin their ears back and go after Nealon Green. They have to be controlled and just push their man back. They can't make a nice pass rush move because if they pick a side, Nealon Green is going to take the opposite side. That gives him more time.
Green with 4 receivers to the far side, 2nd and 10. Unloads to the near side, has Scott Dybert, down to about the 2-yard line. Oh, they call it a touchdown.
Well, they're waving it now.
I thought he was down at the 2 and put down there, but that would be 2 touchdowns that he's had called back tonight if this one doesn't stand.
And it won't. They're putting it down on the 2. But you know what? It was a great read by Nealon Green because Calgary's coming with the blitz. To your right of your screen, you're going to see Greg Frères. Well, he shows up late. It's exactly where Nealon Green sees he has to go to the opposite side of the safety blitz, find Dybert, and yes, by that replay you can see he was down. So
spotted at the 2 and he was down, tackled and forced to the ground. He didn't fall, so he could get up. He was hit and fell. So it'll be a couple of cracks at it from here, 3 in fact. 1st and goal to go, the 2. And it's easy from there as the Eskimos strike back. Bobby Phillips has the touchdown. If it stands, it'll be his first in his CFL career.
Well, so what does Scott Dybert have to do to get in the end zone?
Unnecessary roughness. After the touchdown, Calgary 92, penalty applied on the kickoff.
That'll be applied on the kickoff. Steve Anderson will also be fined by Wally Buono after the Edmonton Eskimo touchdown. Showing some frustrations out there. It gets tough for defensive line. I talked about the controlled rush. They hate that. I mean, they hate it. They don't have a chance to get a pass rush move out there and get at the quarterback.
John Baker nails another convert. And we're back to a 2-point ball game. Don Matthews was a little upset over there, but has calmed down a little bit now that he's got 7 more in his back pocket.
He's got to be just very, very happy with the play of Nealon Green. I mean, that time he picked up a blitz and he found Scott Dybert, made the perfect read that led to this touchdown by Bobby Phillips. Bobby Phillips had a good game replacing Troy Mills. Troy Mills started the season. There's the penalty by Steve Anderson.
Once more into the end zone for Phillips.
Bobby Phillips got a chance to play last week versus Saskatchewan. Troy Mills injured his ribs. They're actually cracked ribs, and he'll be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So Bobby Phillips gets a chance to play, and last week almost had 100 yards. His first game, the Edmonton Eskimos.
So ready for the Eskimo kickoff. It's been a wonderful, wacky evening of football here at McMahon Stadium in Calgary.
More undisciplined penalties for Wally Buono and his team.
And that is tacked on this kickoff.
Well, it means bad field position for Dave Dickinson unless they can get some kind of return.
Brock Preston beginning at his 5 for Calgary. Ran into a swarm of Eskimos led by A.J. Gass. 12 yards the return, and the field position is not good.
Normally on a kickoff, you're going to pick up the ball around your own 30, 35-yard line. If you get a good return, even a decent return, and you can get out to the 45, that's bonus. But you're looking at the 30 for sure. Right now, Dave Dickinson has to go back to his own 12-yard line. The Steve Anderson penalty is the reason for that.
Stampeders on top, 23-22. Dickinson from the shotgun. 3 receivers far side of the field. He comes to the near side.
Threw it away.
And hit one of the sound men on the sidelines, working for us down there.
That's the sound the ball makes when it hits the mic.
He couldn't make the catch because he'd have to drop the microphone.
Yeah, we don't want him to do that now. All-out blitz again by Edmonton. And smart play by Dave Dickinson. Not take the loss. Don't try and force anything. Just throw it into the sound. The guy holding the sound
the shotgun mic.
Shotgun mic guy. Is that what it's called?
It's called a shotgun.
Okay.
And that's what this is called too. Dickinson working out of the shotgun. Sees something open up, steps up. Can't get it away to Kelvin Anderson, who wouldn't have been able to turn it into a first down, I don't think anyway. So the Eskimos hold the Stampeders with 1:49 to go, and Edmonton will get another crack at it.
Sorry, John, how big is the Steve Anderson penalty? Now, Calgary comes in 2 and out in bad field position. He can't get this football off, trying to just make something out of nothing to Kelvin Anderson. So now they're going to punt the football away. Even with a decent return by Donnie Ashley, Nealon Green is 2 first downs away from a field goal and a chance to even put a major on the board before halftime.
And Green has been hot in the last couple of sequences. Scott McKenzie, who had a touchdown earlier tonight by recovering one of his own punts and scampering into the end zone, stands at his 2. Had to pull it down, got it away, kept it low. Midfield, it's Ashley. Slowed by the first guy. Ryanson can't catch him. Ashley inside the 35. Can he turn the corner and stay standing? Not quite, but a great run. Harry Williams dragged him down. 40-yard punt, 36 for Donnie Ashley.
Well, it's an amazing play for 2 reasons. One, Scott McKenzie, I can't believe he got that ball out of there. He had Patrice Denis, I believe it was, right in his face. Finally gets it out of there, and then Donnie Ashley catches it and then comes up with the big return. So like we mentioned, Steve Anderson's penalty has now put Nealon Green in the whole sequence of events in plus territory. 2 first downs away from scoring a major.
From the 22. That's where the Eskimos are set up and aiming for more. 3 receivers near side. Green avoids the rush of Anderson, looks to the end zone, no one home. Hampton trying to come up with a ball that was fired into the end zone.
Jeff Travesey did something that he cannot do against a quarterback like Nealon Green, or else he dodged a bullet there. He seriously dodged a bullet. Travesey was coming and was high. Nealon Green made a little inside move, and Travesey was beat. Now he couldn't hook up with his receiver downfield. That's why Travesey dodged that bullet.
1:27 till halftime. Eskimos staring at 2nd and 10. Green has time. Now puts it down and takes it himself. He'll have the first down. Sliding safely at the 10-yard line.
Back to the same formation he had success with last week against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It's in an empty formation, and what they're going to try and do in Calgary now is leave Kevin Johnson in the middle to try and spy Nealon Green. They're trying everything. There's Kevin Johnson. No backs in the backfield here for Nealon Green. He's trying to find a lane. Now Kevin Johnson is in charge of spying him. He's standing right behind the center. Now Nealon Green sees it coming. He knows he can outrun the pursuit angle of Kevin Johnson and comes up with a first down on his own. There's 44. Chasing.
Nealon Green has carried 6 times for 59 yards and the touchdown. And he set the Eskimos up with a 1st and 10 at the Stampeder 13. About a minute to go in the opening half. Green, shotgun. To his left, and fired that one out of harm's way. No one was open, and Green just let it go.
No one was open, and there were no running lanes for him, and that was the difference. Watch Chris Morris and Steve Anderson. Steve Anderson has to stay high, keep containment. Morris knows that, so he just keeps kicking him out, working him to the outside.
Here's the Eskimos, 2nd and 10. Calgary 13. Stamps on top by a point. Green has no one to throw to. He takes off himself. Down inside the 5-yard line. He'll be likely short of a first down.
It'll be very close. Well, this is a different formation now. He's going to maximum protect everything, but now he doesn't have as many receivers down the field, and no one is open. You see the great coverage by Kahari Williams. So he takes off running, and it's very close to the first down. And this time, Steve Anderson gets caught inside a little bit. Now, the last play, we saw him go up the field and keep containment. That time, he got caught inside, and Green was allowed outside.
And Green does get the first down. 2nd and goal to go, or 1st and goal to go from the 2. No indication.
Well, I don't think he made it. And in fairness, I think they got to give one to Scott Dybert.
I think that'd be a heck of a plan. He's been in the end zone twice celebrating, and neither has counted. Phillips comes up a little short.
And I think that's only fair. I mean, Bobby Phillips scored on the 2nd Scott Dybert touchdown that was called back in the very next play. And so now, I mean, it's fair to give one to Dybert and let him pound it in there.
Give it to number 23. What a great first half of football as time ticks down now. 41 seconds. The Eskimos have 2 more cracks at this. Now from the 1. Green himself. Eskimos say touchdown. But did they give it to him?
I don't think so. He didn't make it. On the first play, they tried to go with the stacked backfield, give it to Bobby Phillips with the blocking back and Dybert up the middle. On 2nd down, Don Matthews decides to empty the backfield and try and have Nealon Green just go on his own. Watch Jason Clement at the top of your line right there. He can work down and pull Nealon Green back out of the end zone. That ball never crossed the plane, and it's the back of that yellow stripe. The back of it, not the front of it. The yellow stripe is wide enough you can almost put a football in it. And he did not cross the plane. So now Don Matthews has used his timeout. He'll talk things over because this is a crucial call right now to get some points on a third down gamble from the 1-yard line, and it's even that much bigger when you've already been stopped twice.
Stampeders have done a good job of keeping the Eskimos out on this drive.
You know what? With a guy like Nealon Green, this is the one you stack the backfield, you put your backs behind you, you fake it to the second one, and you take off around the corner.
Well, you give it to your best back, and that's usually your quarterback, right?
Well, in this case, it is.
Third down. Touchdown to go.
There it is.
They faked it into the end zone and picked off William Hampton. Nice fake at the line. Hampton comes up with a touchdown-saving interception. And that is a huge sequence for the Calgary Stampeders. Absolutely huge.
The play is made, John, on the line of scrimmage. Wally Buono knows it. Just like we mentioned heading in, Nealon Green pulls the ball out and tries to run the bootleg, but he can't get in the corner. He can't get outside. He has to pull up and throw the football, and when he does, William Hampton is back there to pick it off. The play is made for Calgary on the line of scrimmage, and you know what? They made 3 in a row.
5 plays, they say, decide a football game.
Well, there was 3
could
of
be
them.
one of them.
Yeah, there's 3
Right
in
there.
a row.
The Hampton interception keeps the Eskimos out of the Stampeder end zone, and Calgary, with 17 seconds till halftime, will take a 1-point lead to the dressing room. What a great fake by Nealon Green, but the Stampeders read it well.
Well, they really did, and it was exactly what we thought would happen, you know, the old naked bootleg, but Calgary wasn't having it.
Stampeders content to let time tick down on a great half of football. We kind of got deked up by this one ourselves.
Well, the cameras also went with the fake. They thought this one was going all the way to Bobby Phillips. The fake there, we'll follow him in the end. Wait a minute, he doesn't have the football. And then we'll go and find it, which is over at Nealon Green, and he has already thrown the interceptions going the other way.
Yeah. Well, that happens every once in a while.
Sure.
There's Hampton with the interception. And that saved the touchdown that was right there for the Edmonton Eskimos. I thought they were going to grab 6. Don Matthews a little unhappy about that, but not about what transpired in the first half.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are, Mac. Okay, I'm ready. We're ready. We're ready. I'm not on the camera. A big third. Okay, coach, a big third down gamble there late in the half.
Yeah, you know, we thought we had a good play call. We thought we were going to put Nealon on the edge with his athletic ability. We had a guy wide open. They made a good play, and that's the way it goes. Now we got 30 more minutes to get it going again.
You have to be impressed, though, with your young quarterback's performance so far.
Yeah, and, you know, he's throwing the ball really well, and that's what we had hoped for. That rush is slowing down a little bit because of his running, and we're looking for an exciting second half.
Thank you. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
So the Eskimo dogs are going to be on the east side, right?
Some great plays at McMahon Stadium thus far this evening. William Hampton's interception in the end zone on 3rd and goal to go from the ones ranks right up with the best of them.
Maybe the biggest play of the half. You think that Nealon Green gets in the end zone there. It's a 6-point lead for the Edmonton Eskimos. They have momentum, and they get the ball to start the second half. That was a huge play by William Hampton.
As it stands, the Stampeders lead it by 1. Second half is underway. Donnie Ashley for the Eskimos. He's run well all night long and caught some big passes out across the 37-yard line. William Hampton with a big play to end the half. And that kept the Eskimos out of the end zone.
A huge stop on the goal line there late in the second.
Well, it was a great play by William Hampton, and we're very fortunate to be ahead in the game. Nealon Green is for real. He's doing a great job for them. We got to do a better job of executing our defense.
Now, a great heads-up play by your kicker. I know you were an ex-kicker. Did you teach him that?
Well, I didn't teach him that. He's got good speed, and it's nice to see a rookie make a play like that.
Good luck.
Nealon Green is for real. From Wally Bueno. On the money for Ricky Walters. Thought he was down. He got up and carried on for a bit. Gain is 9 yards.
And Jack Kellogg, number 3, bring him down.
Quarterback numbers stack up rather well through the first 30 minutes here. 175 yards for Nealon Green.
9 yards on first
129 for Dave Dickinson. 2 interceptions cost Green, though.
Not as many rushing yards as last week for Nealon Green, but still just as effective.
Phillips, number 22, takes the handoff.
Bobby Phillips
5-yard gain for first down.
needed a couple. He got 5,
Steve
maybe
Anderson,
6.
number 92. Kevin Johnson, number 44, in on the hit.
Well, I was interested to see Don Matthews talk about his new offense and how it's the learning curve and Nealon Green's performance. There's what Bobby Phillips did last week versus Saskatchewan.
4 receivers set for Green. He's got the man under. And that's Bobby Phillips again. Phillips in under the cover, wrapped up by Marvin Coleman. The gain will be 12.
When you're in a position like Bobby Phillips, you have to make every single play count. You know, you get a chance to play. Troy Mills is back at home in Edmonton, and you know when Troy Mills is healthy, he'll get back in the lineup in a hurry. So every play is important for Bobby Phillips.
Edmonton from the Stampeder 45. Green had it knocked down. Steve Anderson got a hand up. Anderson breathing a sigh of relief after taking that penalty late in the opening half, and the fact that the Eskimos didn't get into the end zone will make him slightly happier, but he'll likely get in a little bit of trouble for possibly fine.
Yeah, he'll be in trouble, but he is making up for it. He made a good play on the goal line stand, keeping Nealon Green in the pocket and forcing him to throw that interception, and he's got the knockdown there. Coming off his best season in 1998, recorded 5 sacks.
2nd and 10. Eskimos. A marker goes down as Green finds Hervey. Flags are down, and Hervey gets down to the 1-yard line. No, he's into the end zone for the touchdown. 45 yards. But there was a marker down immediately.
Offside, Calgary 94. Touchdown.
Counted as a 45-yard touchdown for Ed Hervey. A seesaw battle at McMahon Stadium in Calgary.
Well, this was another situation where Nealon Green comes up with a great read because the Calgary Stampeders decided to go with the blitz. Here comes safety Greg Ferris. You see 94, Jeff Traversy in the middle. He was the one calling the penalty. That won't matter, but perfect read and throw by Nealon Green. He saw the blitz, he read it, he hit the right guy, and then let his athlete do the work for him.
1 more point for the Eskimo total as Edmonton moves out in front of the Stampeders one more time. It's a 5-point ball game as Ed Hervey has a touchdown, and it's the Eskimos on top once more, 45 yards and into the end zone.
Do you want to take another look at
lost
that,
the
or
monitor here.
What do you want to? Fixing the monitor by hitting it. I was just wondering about that touchdown. If there's I just want to see how the blitz was blocked up front. Let's see how that offensive line picked up the blitz.
I hit that back too, so I don't know if I'm on the.
Do we see?
That's kind of a key monitor for us.
The good protection. Is there good protection? Let's just run it from there. That's a safety coming from the left.
Oh, there you go. You had it for a second.
Just play it. Just run it. Safety there. He's picked up. Well, not really. That's not blocked well. He just got it off in time. Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much, Art. Don't lean on this monitor. It's a little weak here. Eskimos into the end zone again. It took 5 plays to cover 71 yards. And Ed Hervey had the touchdown catch and a 45-yard run.
Well, sometimes the blitz is blocked up well, and sometimes the quarterback just gets it away in time. You see Steve Anderson, 92, was right in the backfield, but Nealon Green just got it out of there in time, and touchdown was the result.
Nealon Green having a terrific night once more. The kickoff goes out of bounds, so they'll redo that. 14 of 24, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions thus far. You're adding this all up, I know. 8 carries for 70 yards. So he has generated an awful lot of offense one more time.
Well, we said that the Calgary defense to win would have to make him a pocket passer, and for the most part, they've done a decent job at it. But he's becoming a pocket passer, and he's burnt him that way.
Stampeders elect to take it at the 45. And Kelvin Anderson is more than halfway to a first down. A.J. Gass, number 41 on the tackle.
And that's the experience of George Cortez as the offensive coordinator of the Calgary Stampeders. He just got scored on. His team's just down now by 6 points. We don't have to come back and start gunning the football down the field. We can just keep our running game involved, stick with our game plan, not panic.
2nd and 4, Calgary, just across the 50-yard line near midfield. Dickinson back to throw. Pitts makes the catch. It'll be first down. Stampeders.
A shootout in Calgary.
Really is. Eskimos on top, 29-23. The lead has changed hands several times already.
You mentioned Dave Dickinson being disappointed with his game last week, and you could tell right after the game he was very disappointed with his performance, especially the turnovers late. But he did put together a pretty good offensive performance when you look at the numbers.
Stampeders played well in the 3rd and 2nd quarters, not in the 1st and 4th. Long out, far side, first down. Stampeders keep it rolling. Aubrey Cummings, number 87, has 15.
A gain of 14 yards before Franz Clarkson, number 26, makes the tackle.
Trophy nominee when he was in Acadia University.
Number 1 receiver in the CIAU in his senior year. They really feel he has the potential to be a great one.
When I love the factory for Canadian receivers here in Calgary. He started with Dave Sapunjas, then Vince Danielson moves in, and now they're grooming Aubrey Cummings.
On first down, Dickinson lets it fly inside the 20. It'll be another Stampeder first down. Travis Moore.
This was the combination that hooked up for the touchdown early in the game, and on the play, both Travis Moore, Dave Dickinson got hurt. Obviously, they're both back in and haven't skipped a beat. 5 catches for Travis Moore, and really putting together a pretty nice game here. 103 yards, and of course that touchdown that I just mentioned.
Remember Travis Moore in the Grey Cup game, a couple of catches in that final drive to set up the game-winning field goal. That was Travis Moore too. 17 yards to pick up. Dickinson in difficulty and had to unload that one. He fired it out of bounds. Little heat coming there. Marcelo Simmons, number 17.
Well, they've taken turns. It's either B.J. Gallus or Marcelo Simmons coming on the blitz, and this time Dave Dickinson is facing the blitz. In other words, when he dropped back there, his read was taking him to the side of the blitz. Marcelo Simmons was hoping that it would take him the other way so he'd be seeing the middle of his back. But he didn't. Saw him coming and threw it away.
From the 18, it'll be 2nd and 10. Stampeders threatening but trailing in the ball game, 29-23. Dickinson can't get it away. He had company immediately and might have lost the ball. Stampeders appear to have it back. And Dickinson is shaken up. Second time tonight.
It's that same shoulder, it looks like, giving him troubles. Now, you know, when you blitz, and we just saw Marcelo Simmons come on a blitz, when you do that, you can show blitz and drop, and the quarterback has to respect the fact that you might be coming. There's B.J. Gallis. Now, Dave Dickinson can see him. He's not sure if he's going to come or not. On this play, he doesn't come. So Dave Dickinson holds on to the ball because he had dropped into coverage. When he did that, got pressure from the outside, and down he goes.
Stamps will settle for a field goal try from Mark McLaughlin. He's been perfect so far tonight. From 37, 47, and 43, they had trouble with the exchange, mostly because Dickinson wasn't out there. He was on the sidelines, and they had to go to a backup plan.
Jack Kellogg is the backup holder. Dickinson's on the bench.
So the Stampeders come up empty. The Eskimos lead at 29-23. What a great night at McMahon. I don't think I touched it last time. Little monitor.
Wellesley is breaking things up here, Mac. Well, he's breaking the TVs and everything.
Those are monitors.
Yeah.
Henry Burris. He was third last year, right?
Yep. Been around for a few years.
It's a loose connection, isn't it? Oh, really? Where's our gaffer tape? Let's tape this sucker back together.
Yeah, big games. All right. Everyone happy in the van?
Having a good time in the trailer? Trailer park trash down there. Oh, we got the crowd here. You got a crowd shot? A great crowd on a wonderful night at McMahon Stadium in Calgary.
31,246 in attendance. Another great one.
Yeah, tomorrow on Adidas Friday Night Football, the doubleheader. Ticats Argonauts from Skydome, followed by BC and the Rough Riders from Taylor Field. And there's concern for the Stampeders right now.
Well, here's how he got hurt. Robert Brown hits him right on that sore shoulder and throws him to the ground, and Henry Burris was warming up down there. We'll see what happens.
Here's Nealon Green on first down. Edmonton gets about 4 yards there with a completion to Bobby Phillips, number 22. Phillips has done well tonight in his second game with Troy Mills on the sidelines and injured right now.
Trying to mix it up and keep it simple, and on the other sideline, Calgary Stampeders just wondering which quarterback will play the next series.
2nd and 6 for the Eskimos.
Eskimos with the ball on the 36-yard line. Green on 2nd and 6. Missed his target. Tight coverage on Terry Vaughn. And Anderson was into the backfield.
Steve Anderson is really making up for penalties early in this game. He's coming off the edge here, working on Chris Morris. Knocks his hands down. That's what defensive linemen do well. I mean, if you're a good defensive lineman, you've got very active hands. Steve Anderson came up there on Chris Morris, and when Morris went to block him, swatted those hands right out of there.
Matt Kellett for Marvin Coleman on 3rd down, Edmonton. Nice kick. And Coleman gets across the 35 to about the 37. 7 on the return. Stampeders will have first down, but who'll be at the controls? We'll be right back on CFL Live.
Who's gonna?
Calgary 34. First down, Calgary.
Oh boy.
What was the penalty?
Unnecessary roughness.
Dwayne
Ford. Watch Wally. Watch Wally. Watch Wally talk to Dwayne Ford. This could be ugly.
Wally's not having anything to do with him.
He doesn't want to talk to him about it.
You got that shot when we come back, guys? Dwayne Ford and Wally, because we can talk that up. Wally's just ignoring him. Was it unnecessary roughness?
Yes. Yep.
Well, that's a bigger story, guys, right now. Ford has just taken another penalty, and we didn't talk about it. Dave Dickinson is on the sidelines. Henry Burris is in the huddle for the Calgary Stampeders. And Calgary has just taken another unnecessary roughness penalty prior to that. Dwayne Ford walking off the field, and the coach won't even talk to him.
No, he just ignored him completely. Dwayne Ford went over to give him his explanation for why he got an unnecessary roughness call after the whistle had blown, and Wally Buono did not want to talk to him because now he's got Henry Burris in the football game, and he's lost field position.
He's back just outside the 20 at the 23. And should be 15 yards further upfield for the rookie to start here now. So Dickinson will watch, at least for the time being. And Henry Burris is at the controls. Burris was third string last year. He moves up to number 2 this year and draws a flag immediately. Kelvin Anderson can't turn the corner.
We have a penalty marker down.
Justin Ring had him wrapped up.
Kelvin Anderson, number 32, ball carrier.
It's always the case. It's either a legal procedure or offside when the new quarterback comes on. It's usually the first or second snap of the game because it's a different cadence, different sound of voice. He gets up there, barks out the signals, and someone's going to jump.
Malvin Hunter has the explanation.
It's usually his own teammates. They're used to listening to Dave Dickinson all game and really all season. Then they hear Henry Burris, and they're just not used to the cadence and the rhythm of the cadence. And here he goes. Everyone trying to time it up.
Illegal procedure. Calgary 16. First down repeated.
Stampeders have taken 90 penalties, or 90 yards in penalties, compared to 20 for the Eskimos. And now, Henry Burris looks at first and 15. Another procedure call. Burris goes to the wide side of the field.
Henry Burris fires into Aubrey Cummings, and there's another penalty marker down.
Aubrey Cummings, 87, made the catch far side, but markers were down. The gain will be only 3 anyway. A long pass for 3 yards.
And it looks like they're not going to get that 3.
All right, ladies, I'm just wondering, who's got the cup? We got the cup!
They're discussing it now, but this could be a situation that...
Offside. Edmonton 17. It's first down repeated.
All right, well, they'll just cancel it out, and those last 2 plays didn't exist. One procedure and then one offside, so we're back where we started from.
Well, Burris has 5 yards, though. He's picked up 5. He was looking at first and 15. Now he looks at first and 10. Things are a little bit brighter. Marcus Dowdell, the ex-Eskimo, flanks to the near side. 3 receivers, far side of the field. Play action fake. Burris looks to put it out. Dangerous toss, but he's got a man. Couldn't make the catch. Travis Moore, tight coverage, penalty marker down.
Shad Chris was in the excuse me. That was the wrong team. Terry Ray was in the coverage. The wrong 28.
Terry Ray was covering on Travis Moore. There's a penalty upfield where the pass was almost completed, and one in the backfield as well.
Well, he's going to get called for the screening.
Holding, Calgary 67. Forward pass interference, Edmonton 28. We're going to repeat first down.
Well, Burris is getting practice here.
He is. He hasn't run a play yet without a flag hitting the ground. Drysdale gets called on the holding. Terry Ray gets called on the screening and pass interference. They'll do it all over again.
Drysdale in the center of that Stampeder offensive line, playing his 100th CFL game tonight. So back to 1st and 10. The ball has not moved. Here it is. Marcus Dowdell, big catch for the Stampeders. And no markers anywhere, so Burris gets a little something going on a 22-yard strike to the ex-Eskimo.
It's called a fly and die, and that's where Marcus Dowdell dies down the sideline and creates a target. Don Matthews released him, said Ed Hervey was a better player, and Dowdell wanted to prove Don Matthews wrong. Have a big game here tonight. So far, he's decent game.
He's made a couple.
Made a couple catches, dropped one early.
None bigger than that for 22 yards to get the Stamps out near the 45. Henry Burris looks to the far side. Cummings has the catch. Aubrey Cummings has 6.
Well, if you're the coach of the Edmonton Eskimos, what do you do when the young quarterback comes in for Dave Dickinson, a guy who really hasn't played a whole lot? I'll tell you what you do. You send everybody you got. You just say, okay, how many we got out there? We got 12. Okay, we've got to cover with 5 of them. So we'll leave those guys back, but everyone else, send them.
Matthews likes to do that every game, though, doesn't he?
Well, especially against a young guy, and right now he's been sending the house at him.
2nd and 4. Stampeders trailing 29-23. More markers for Burris, and he's rammed to the ground.
Well, this is likely going to be Edmonton offside, but again, Edmonton had everyone on the line of scrimmage, and they were all coming.
Marcellus Simmons was there in a hurry.
I mean, you just can't, Don Matthews can't find anyone else to send. I mean, that's it. He's using them all up.
Offside, Edmonton 46, first down.
Rich Stubler is Matthews' defensive coordinator, but Don likes to work on the defense.
Look at this. There's one. There's 2. Another 1. 3, 4, 5. Look at this. Look at that. He's got no other guys. That's all of them. They're all coming. They got so excited about it, they got offside.
It's been an unorthodox drive thus far, but the Stampeders have worked their way across midfield. Burris pumps once, looks long. Oh! Just off Dowdell's fingertips. Catchable football.
Well, talk to Wally Buono about Marcus Dowdell, and you know, he said he likes his speed, he loves his size, but what he can't figure out about him and what he wants to see and evaluate over the next couple of weeks is whether or not Dowdell will consistently perform for him. He says, you know what was weird about the couple of practices we had is that he would catch one over the middle in traffic, make a circus catch, and then be wide open the next time and drop it. And maybe that's why Don Matthews released him. He wanted more consistency out of him.
2nd and 10. Another marker down. That would have been the 8th play of the drive, but we'll retrace our steps.
And that would have been a long game by Vince Danielson, who was very disappointed that that one was blown dead.
It was whistled down early, though. 4:03 to go, 3rd quarter. If you're joining us, Henry Burris is in. Dave Dickinson watching from the sidelines with a sore left arm. And a great duel between 2 veteran head coaches and 2 wonderful football teams. Steeped in tradition of this rivalry, this is game 1 of 3 meetings this year. They met 5 times last year. The Stampeders won all 5. The Eskimos are different in '99. On 2nd down, Burris is picked out. Franz Clarkson has his first interception, number 26.
Fourth-round draft pick, Franz Clarkson. University of Manitoba comes up with a big interception, but again, caused by pressure up front from the Edmonton Eskimos. And Henry Burris will learn to throw this one into about row 4. He had a lot of pressure. The pocket was closing around him. And here he is down here. Franz Clarkson's going to just sit on this ball and really doesn't have to move. It's thrown right to him. Thank you very much. We'll go the other way with this one.
Nealon Green and the Eskimos right at midfield. First down after the turnover. Green spots an opening. Takes a hit. Close to a first down if they count the bounce. He bounced off that new turf, didn't he?
Well,
Ray Jacobs hit him.
Ray Jacobs was the guy. And Clarkson has given them the opportunity to get another series going, and that's what you got to do when Nealon Green starts running around. You're a defensive lineman, take a shot at him. Drive him into the ground a couple times. Nealon Green said, hey, you think I like getting hit down the field? I mean, I don't mind running, but I certainly don't like getting hit.
Gain was 8, 2nd and 2. Big hole opens up for Phillips. Nice run. He's down to about the 32. Greg Frere's there to make the stop from a safety spot.
I'm going to show you what the running of Nealon Green will do to a middle linebacker. And I'm talking about one of the best in the league in Alondra Johnson. His influence when he can run the football affects Alondra Johnson. Alondra Johnson that time, as soon as Green turned to his left, flew out of the formation to go and make sure he could help out tracking down Nealon Green, and when he gave it to Bobby Phillips, he had left his hole.
Eskimos at the 32 of Calgary. Another first down. Green missed everyone there. Ricky Walters appeared to be the closest target, and another marker down at the 15-yard line. Matthews' team.
Well, they're still swinging, and now there was a fight going on between Donnie Ashley, I believe it was, and Marvin Coleman. Donnie Ashley's trying to plead his case, and the rest of the Edmonton Eskimos are trying to keep him out of there so he won't get another penalty tacked on if, in fact, it's against him. It's a matter of who was the instigator and who got caught in the retaliation, because that's the guy who gets caught. Guy who retaliates.
To say these teams don't like each other is an understatement.
Offensive forward, pass interference. Edmonton, number 87. First down repeated.
Looking back through the years, not many players have been on both sides. Johnny Bright, Normie Kwong, Tom Scott, Danny Bass, Marcus Dowdell now, and Terry Vaughn, along with my old friend Fred Fleming, who played for both these teams. But these teams have not traditionally traded. Players have not gone back and forth up and down highway number 2.
No, you don't do that. I mean, it doesn't happen very often. They don't like each other.
Edmonton, 1st and 20. Nealon Green looks to the corner, just misses. And he's looking for a call down there, number 87.
Well, I think it's a good no call because the ball was thrown out of bounds.
Donnie Ashley.
Basically, that was uncatchable by Donnie Ashley. And what they tried to do is, a couple times in this game now, Donnie Ashley has run the under route. This time, Nealon Green's going to pump fake to him on the under, and he's just going to turn up. See, there's the pump fake. Now he turns up the field, tries to throw it out there so Donnie Ashley can get underneath it, and he just threw it too far. It's a good no call because that was not going to be caught, even if Marvin Coleman isn't out there.
Ashley and Coleman dueling on back-to-back plays. 2nd and 20, and another marker. We've almost had enough, haven't we?
We've had enough.
1:16 to go, third quarter. It's the Eskimos on top, 29-23, in what has been a very entertaining football evening at McMahon. Trying to read Don's lips over there.
Illegal procedure, Edmonton 57.
Val St. Germain gets called for illegal procedure, and Don is over there talking to the refs. He's not doing it for the play. He knows they're not going to change their mind. What he's doing it for is the next one. You're just trying to say, okay, now that's 2 in a row against us. I mean, let's keep this thing balanced.
And what it means to the Eskimos is a 2nd and 25 situation here. They're backed up to the 47-yard line. Nealon Green looks to put a big play in. Gets maybe halfway to the first down.
There's Shad Chris.
But Green misses there. Walters was the target and couldn't hang on.
Well, it would have been quite a catch by Walters, because Shad Chris, who's had to come in and play for Eddie Davis, here he is right here, Shad Chris. I mean, look at the coverage by 28. I mean, he's right in the hip pocket. Now, that would have been one tough catch by Ricky Walters.
So that didn't work out quite as well, and shoeless John Baker enters the game one more time. 2 for 2. He's hit from 12 and 49. This is longest try ever in the CFL. 54. He's got it.
Whoa.
He's nailed another one.
Only just.
Not by much, but that doesn't matter.
At the end
spotted at the 54.
At the end of the day, they don't say how, just how many.
That he's 3 for 3.
That one squeaked in.
32-23 for the Eskimos now. Those could be important points as this evening wears on. The British Open, all kinds of drama last week at Carnoustie. This week we'll check out the Senior British Open, the Caldwell Banker Burnett Championship. Senior PGA Tour will stop there. And we're here at McMahon. Henry Burris quarterbacking the Calgary Stampeders. Loose ball. Edmonton comes up with it. Malvin Hunter and Chris Hardy are all over it. And Hardy has the fumble. It was a new quarterback in, and that creates problems.
Well, it was a direct snap to Kelvin Anderson. They line up in a shotgun formation, but Kelvin Anderson slides. Watch this. There's Kelvin Anderson. He's going to slide over and take the snap. Direct snap. Trying to get a little misdirection play going. And here's how he fumbles. It looks like he just laid it on the ground. Robert Brown pulls it right out of there. Get to the line for the young football players up there watching. Both arms over the football when you hit the line of scrimmage.
The turnover sets the Eskimos up at the Stampeder 43. Nealon Green, a little heat, and one hopped it.
Steve Anderson took a gamble there. He just decided, you know what, I'm going to keep coming, and if he beats me, he beats me. Because usually a defensive lineman's going to break down when they're in space with a guy like Nealon Green. And that time, Steve Anderson just went right through him, put his arms up and said, boy, I hope you throw it. You don't fake it and pull it down and go again, because it could be a long play.
This should be last play of the third quarter. Eskimos leading 32-23. Edmonton, 2nd and 10. A little heat on Green. And again, he one-hopped it, this time for Terry Vaughn. So he short-armed a couple there in a hurry. Eskimos looking at third down after the turnover. Could have been worse for the Stampeders than it might apparently be. Don Matthews very happy with the play of his Eskimos in the third quarter.
All courtesy of the official airline of the 98 Grey Cup champ, Calgary Stampeders. All right, Ralph, is you ready? We need you guys to be the air traffic controllers.
So what's the point spread there, Einstein?
9.
Yeah. Stampeders have to score twice to win.
Touchdown and field goal wins it.
I can't hear them very well tonight, can you?
No, not at all.
In the distance.
If you're sitting in section T, row 17,
All right, let's have a good fourth quarter. Could they please stop, keep the flags in their pocket?
Let's not throw any more of those things.
Gee.
So this kid hit from 54, right?
Stampeder rep is on their way, delivering your new Whitnall watch.
Now this is there still a slight breeze down there? Because this is into it now.
He nailed one into the wind, his first long one into the wind. It's a fashion statement he's making. You only need one Adidas. And then would that be singular?
Adidas.
Adidas. It's been a great night here so far, and tomorrow lots more ahead on Adidas Friday Night Football. Ticats Argonauts beginning at 7 Eastern, followed by BC and the Rough Riders. Taylorfield, Regina will be in town.
How big are the games there for Toronto and Saskatchewan?
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Both at 0-2, yeah.
Third down and 10 as the fourth quarter
Well, a
begins.
fashion statement being made by John Baker, who wears just one Adidas shoe to kick footballs. He hit from 54 on his last crack. This one spotted at the 50 into the breeze. On the money, through the uprights. But a marker is down on third down.
Well, that's a longer kick because it's into the slight breeze.
Field goal's good.
There's the good news. Field goal stands. No infraction.
Well, the rest were throwing them so quickly in that third quarter, they just automatically threw one again. Went, oh, wait a minute. There was no penalty there.
No penalty there. Field goal stands. The Eskimos have looked really sharp in the second half. Check out the numbers. 332 net yards for Edmonton. Big difference compared to Calgary. What else do you see?
Well, I see balance. That's what I see in the passing and the rushing. Nice balance. 100 yards running the football. Nealon Green has a lot of those yards. Bobby Phillips has done a nice job. And he's putting it together a good passing game as well at 245.
Stampeders up against it with Dave Dickinson on the sidelines and Henry Burris at the controls. Complete there to Vince Danielson. First catch for number 88, Vince Danielson, who's doing a terrific thing for kids in Calgary and all across Canada. Every yard counts is a league-wide program to help kids. He's got players lined up in every CFL city, and kids with cancer are involved in being invited to football games.
What he does, Vince Danielson had a form of cancer as a kid. Got a visit from Louis Pasaglia.
Alan Pitts the catch there. Carry on.
He got a visit when he was in chemotherapy treatment in Vancouver. Vince Danielson got a visit from Louis Pasaglia, said it really helped him in his recovery, and it was something that he never forgot, and he vowed at that time that if he ever could live out his dream and play professional football, that he would try and give something back in the same way. So what he does is he brings two kids who have cancer into the game. They get VIP treatment, they watch the game, and then they go and meet the guys in the locker room. It's league-wide. It's a great program.
Burris. Here's Alan Pitts. It's a race to the end zone. Pitts down to the 5. He's there. Anthony Fogel chasing him all the way, but Pitts has the Jets and a 63-yard touchdown. And he's taking a page from Baker's book.
Well, he blew a tire.
Yeah. One shoe off, one shoe on. Touchdown counts, though.
Well, he gets inside position on Anthony Fogel, and of course, that's a great receiver playing against a rookie defensive back. To the left of your screen, you're going to see how Alan Pitts gets inside, and that makes it an easy throw for Henry Burris. Now watch when he blows the tire. Let's see where that happens. There it is. He's got a flat tire, and he's going in with one. That's beautiful.
Touchdown, Alan Pitts. Smiles on the sidelines, even though Dickinson didn't throw it. Stampeders jump right back in this thing. Alan Pitts has the touchdown. His third of the season. It was a beauty. And Henry Burris celebrating his first strike. It's Edmonton by 5 on CFL Live. Yeah. What do you got?
Enough background on Henry Burris and just, you know, I don't know if we done that enough, do you think?
Well, you know.
Introducing him to the, you know, because I don't, you know, no one would really know him very well. I'm just wondering.
Well, I think you should then. Have you got something to say?
No,
man?
I don't.
Have you got something to get off your chest?
Yeah, well, that was on the conference call, but I won't get into that.
Can we get any cheering here, Chop? Because the place is alive again. Might be my favorite football song.
Yeah.
What?
Well, they dance.
Because everybody gets up. Look,
yeah.
Everybody gets up. Yeah. Say what you want about the village people, but they've left behind a great football song. This always gets people up and roaring.
Well, it's got Dave Dickinson off the bench and roaring, not only for the song, but for his backup quarterback who just threw a nice strike, and Henry Burris. Great for his confidence, having to play with the injury to Dickinson. Been in the organization for 3 years now and been the number 3 guy behind Jeff Garcia and Dave Dickinson. Has learned a ton and now gets a chance to play and threw a nice strike to Alan Pitts.
Donnie Ashley from the 10-yard line on the Eskimo return. Stacked up at about the 30. Wally Buono back in the ballgame on a big play from Burris to Alan Pitts.
Interesting comment. Not a Grey Cup champ. We're not defending anything, trying to achieve something. That's an interesting comment because, you know, everyone thinks they're the team to knock off when they, of course, won it last year, but Wally doesn't see it that way. He's got some new personnel in certain positions and feels like they have to prove something all over again.
Eskimos beginning at the 30-yard line with a 5-point lead. 4 receivers to the far side of the field. Nealon Green at the controls. He's played well.
There's a penalty marker down.
Ed Hervey was the target. There's a penalty marker down.
Well, it has been a battle between Chris Morris, the outside offensive tackle for the Edmonton Eskimos, and Steve Anderson. And we've gone back to the matchup a bunch throughout this game.
Holding, Edmonton number 60, first down repeated.
Guess who? Chris Morris, and guess who he was working on? This has been a battle. Look at Chris Morris's helmet. I mean, he has got the battle scars to prove that he has been in a fight with Steve Anderson. And that time he just threw him to the ground and got called for the holding penalty.
Little momentum shift here for the Stampeders after the touchdown, but looking back prior to that, Nealon Green has missed his last 5 passes. So the pressure might be getting to him a little bit from the Stampeder defense. First and a bunch. Green near side as Scott Dibert out near the 30.
Number 23 makes the catch for an 11-yard gain.
Penalty in the Stampeders secondary, however.
Well, there's another flag. It's on the opposite side of the field. And likely some sort of pass interference downfield. So Nealon Green will hear the options from the head referee. Take a look at what kind of yardage you
Illegal
got.
contact on a receiver. Calgary 28, first down repeated.
Shad Chris getting called. That was about 60 yards away from the play.
Back where we began a moment or two ago. 1st and 10 at the 30. Nealon Green got it away in a hurry. He's short of the first down. Don Ashley. He has 7.
He's made an impact, Donnie Ashley, in this football game.
Really has.
Put together 4 catches. Hasn't found the end zone, but he's really contributed and had, I believe he had one big one called back as well.
Second down, 3 yards to go for 38.
Second and 3. 11:27 to go, fourth quarter. Some heat on Green. And he couldn't find anyone.
Well, the umpire got run over at the middle of the field. The intended receiver, I believe, was Terry Vaughn. But he had to jump over and hurdle the umpire in the middle of the field.
And Anderson was there again.
Yeah, this matchup, this battle has been going on. Steve Anderson and Chris Morris. That's where the fight has been all night long. Little pressure. Look at that hands. He knocks Chris Morris down, gets his shoulders going towards the turf, and gets in there and forces Nealon Green to throw it away.
Matt Kellett for Marvin Coleman on third down, Edmonton. This one is low, a knuckleball. Coleman. No flags. So the Stampeders will start about the 43. Check that. There's one flag back at the 40-yard line. We'll look at that when we return. It's CFL Live from Calgary.
How many penalties?
25.
Oh, great. Hey, Mac. Let's unless it's a huge penalty, let's not put them on again.
Holding on the return, was that it?
All right.
Who you got? Have you got Phillips out? Share. Is Phillips out? Number 22, Phillips is out. Is that what you're going to talk about, Share?
I'm talking about Dickinson.
Okay.
And am I off or on? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Couldn't hear you, but now I do.
We can't see the new hairdo. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So we should be watching to see if Phillips is in for Edmonton here, guys.
He'll be the next series now.
Yeah.
0000.
What a great night for a football game at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. We're watching Dave Dickinson, the starting quarterback for the Stamps, on the sidelines. Henry Burris is set to lead the Calgary offense here one more time. He's engineered one touchdown drive.
I just talked to Dave Dickinson. He says his shoulder is popping in and out of joint, and there's no stability in it. He says if he gets hit, there's just no stability at all. He says it's an old injury. It was on the last play of the BC game last week, so he definitely says he will not be back in.
So it is up to Mr. Burris. And maybe this guy, Kelvin Anderson, his best run of the night. First down, Calgary. Out across the 40 to about the 43. It's a 14-yard gain.
It's exactly what Wally Guano wants to do now. He's got a young quarterback in there that hasn't seen a lot of football and game action. He needs to develop a running game, not only to take the pressure off Burris, but see George Cortez standing beside him. He's going to say, look, we got to keep running the football. We can take some pressure off our young quarterback, but we can also take a bunch of time off the clock.
Anderson has more yards tonight than in his previous 2 games. Direct snap. And that was well read.
And doesn't get past the line of scrimmage.
Gallus was there, number 98.
Gallus, number 98, makes the tackle.
Back to that direct snap play. This was the play that Calvin Anderson fumbled. Here it is right here. He just cuts in front of Henry Burris and takes that football before he can get it. Henry Burris has to go the other way, though. Henry Burris kind of dropped back. He's got to go left to try and influence the defense.
Either go left or throw a block. Get out of my way. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
2nd and 11 after a loss of 1. Burris stands up. May have some running room here. Needs a block. And reaches out. He may have the first down on a great second effort.
Wow.
It'll depend on where they spot the ball, but nice athleticism down there by Henry Burris.
Well, you know, he's got some running ability as well, and he spent a whole game watching Nealon Green run around and says, hey, I can do a little bit of that. And it was a great second effort because he reaches out. If he doesn't reach out, he's a yard short. And now the way it stands, they're going to have to measure it. So he's got it within that yard because generally speaking, the refs won't bring the sticks out unless it's a yard or shorter.
9:12 to go in the fatal fourth quarter with the Eskimos on top by 5, 35-30. How close is it? Well, we can't see from there, but we'll get the indication.
The crowd says it's a first down. You can hear that.
And the indication is there now. So Burris does it with an extra effort. Pretty big first down because they've moved out near midfield and can gain a little bit on field position, even if they can't move much farther from here at this point.
Saw Dave Dickinson saying Burris has just got to stay calm. Calm down, be fine.
Burris slides it out for Alan Pitts.
Henry Burris complete to Alan
Cavis Reed, or Terry Ray rather, wrapped him up. The gain is 3.
Eskimos number 28, Terry Ray on the tackle.
Pick up 3 yards, bit of a broken play. Alan Pitts was trying to block B.J. Gallus on the play. He missed Gallus, and then because he missed him, he turned around, and there he was wide open. Here he is over here. He had missed B.J. Gallus and was standing in space. Pick up a few yards out of nothing there.
Henry Burris, the Stampeder quarterback of the moment, looking at 2nd and 7 from the shotgun. Pitts was the target. It's picked by Anthony Fogel.
Henry Burris is intercepted. Fogel, number 5.
Burris Burris just got confused with the defense he was looking at. That was just a young mistake because really threw it into coverage. Tried to get it to Alan Pitts, and what Edmonton was doing was playing a version of sort of a cover 2 defense, which is 2 guys deep. Fogel was one of them, and guys underneath. And so in essence, Alan Pitts was being double covered, and Burris really didn't read it properly, threw it a little bit high. And when you throw a ball high, pretty good chance. See, there's the underneath coverage by Ray. Fogel on the over top coverage picks off the ball.
Calgary has turned it over 4 times. Nealon Green for Edmonton, close to a first down. Ed Hervey made the catch. He made his debut in week 2. Super in the preseason. We told you about that.
Yeah, very, very big target as well. 6'2". So it's one of the reasons they really like him. They get those receivers that can run, and if you got a little size behind you as well, it's a bonus.
First down, Eskimos approaching the 50-yard line. Edmonton by 5. And Nealon Green missed diver there. Number 22, Bobby Phillips, is out of the game and out of that Eskimo backfield right now. A little bit of what's happened so far, the game leaders.
Pretty good day by Nealon Green with 78 yards rushing, 262 passing. Travis Morris had a nice night for the Calgary Stampeders. Big touchdown in the first half.
Alan Pitts got Calgary back within 5 on a spectacular pass and run play from Henry Burris. But right now, it's Edmonton's 2nd and 10. Green couldn't connect with Terry Bond.
You know what? Full credit on that play to the Calgary secondary. They've had their problems with Vaughn. They've had their problems downfield. Greg Ferris had an interception early in the game, but on that play, Nealon Green had enough time to have a coffee back in the pocket. Couldn't find a receiver.
Don Matthews has the lead, but he has to give up the football. Matt Kellett stands in. As usual, Marvin Coleman deep for Calgary. Whoa. A little heat kicker down. Flag is in the air. Coleman waits for the bouncing ball.
Well, it'll be no yards in one end and roughing the kicker on the other. Now, we got to check this out when we come back, but it was close.
We'll get the calculator out and figure how many penalties we've seen here tonight. Eskimos on top by 5. It's 35-30.
Because that's the key. If he touched it. Show it again. Oh.
I think he might have touched the ball. Didn't see it very clear. No, maybe
he
not.
Didn't. No, he didn't.
He missed it.
Matt Kellett adjusted in time. No, I don't think he did. It didn't change directions at all.
We got them all over the field.
It'll be no yards, and it'll be roughing the kicker. So,
but they haven't announced it yet.
No, they haven't. But roughing the kicker means Edmonton takes possession.
How many players are gathered at center field to hear this moment? Ooga, 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 ooga.
Contacting the kicker, Calgary. Holding, Edmonton number 30. Those two penalties are applied. The no yards against Edmonton is declined. Re-kick, 3rd down.
You got that? Here's the game story. Nealon Green, nice night again. 78 yards rushing. John Baker, the barefoot kicker, 4 field goals. He's hit from 54 and 50. Pitts and Moore have 65 and 63-yard TD catches, and there have been many penalties on the field. So here's what's going to happen. There was contacting the kicker and a penalty against Calgary, and I didn't have to rush because we're going to take a stop here anyway. Well, and you can explain the whole darn deal.
Okay, here's what happened. There was contacting the kicker on Matt Kellett. Here's this play. Now you got to touch the football if you're going to try and block it. The football was not touched by Roger Reinson, so there's the contacting kicker. Then there was a holding Edmonton that was also applied, and then there was a no yards which was declined, which means the Edmonton Eskimos kick it again. Now, why they stopped and started here, who knows?
So this is the re-kick of the re-kick. Correct? Here's Marvin Coleman waiting for Calgary. Kellett takes a low snap and booms a low one. Coleman may not have a play.
Oh, what a bounce.
Great bounce for the Eskimos. Coleman couldn't do anything, so Kellett gets credit for a 50-yard punt and no return. And the Stampeders start deep with a rookie at the controls.
So here's the scenario for Henry Burris. Hasn't played all season. In fact, really hasn't played when the game has been on the line in his career in Calgary. Has a chance in one of the biggest games early in the year against the rivals that they hate, the Edmonton Eskimos, and now has the ball in the game in his hands. Pretty nice night, 6 of 9. 2 interceptions hurt him, but Dave Dickinson with a dislocated shoulder that keeps popping in and out has to have the baseball hat on, so it's all on Burris' hands now. He's got the football, the clock, and a chance to win it for Calgary.
But an unenviable spot on the field starting near his own 10.
No!
No catch, far side. You can hear that all the way up here. Aubrey Cummings was the intended receiver, and Burris got a little anxious and took a little something off it.
He didn't get it out there, didn't put enough on that, sort of threw that ball as he was backing up. Now, when you're back in the shadow of your own goalpost and you got a 2nd and 10, this becomes a big play in the football game, and George Cortez is going to have to reach deep into that bag of tricks to find one here.
He calls most of the plays for Dave Dickinson, the #1 quarterback. Safe to say he's calling them all here for Henry Burris. Another marker down as Burris eludes the initial rush. And they call it an incomplete pass.
Well, his arm was moving forward. Unfortunately for Calgary, he didn't have the ball in his hand when it was moving forward. Burris bought some time, and here he just drops this one. He goes to throw it, slips out of his hands right there. And that makes the blooper tape. Although
Whoops.
the Calgary Stampeders, if they lose this game, won't be laughing.
A very entertaining first half. Things haven't quite gone as well in the second half in many ways. There have been some errors and miscues.
A ton of penalties in the second half have really slowed this game down.
30th penalty of the night. This will be 2nd and 5. Calgary. Burris had Dowdell and he dropped the ball.
Wally Buono was asked about whether or not Dowdell was going to be the receiver in that spot for the rest of the year. And he said, you know what? He's still on a trial basis. He's caught a couple tonight, but he's dropped some obvious ones, some easy catches. That was an easy catch for a first down and a big play for his team.
Would have been huge for the Stampeders right there.
Yeah, let it drop and hit the turf, and that one will be on the back of Wally Buono's mind as he prepares his team for the following week.
5:12 to go in the final quarter. Donnie Ashley is deep. Pretty nice kick by Scott McKenzie. And Ashley is wrapped up in a hurry after a 4-yard return. Roger Reinson leading the way for the Stampeders.
41 yards on the kick. And 3 on the return.
Bobby Phillips won't be back for the Eskimos tonight. He has a sprained ankle. So the Eskimos will adjust, likely with more receivers in their package, because the only back they have left on the depth chart is Scott Dybert.
Yeah, Dybert will play in the fullback spot, be the single back, and then they'll bring in Ricky Walters to play that extra receiver spot and go with Ashley, Hervey, Tolbert, Vaughn, and Walters.
Basically a 6-receiver set in there for the Eskimos now. 4 to the far side of the field, 2 to the near side. Looked like early movement. Thankfully, no flag. Green away from the first wave of Stampeders. Still standing. And he overfired a wide open target. That's Scott Dybert.
You mentioned earlier when Wally Buono talked about the comparison with Damon Allen. And, you know, I have to be honest. And when he first said that, my eyebrows kind of went, now, wait a minute. Damon Allen? I mean, that guy's in the Hall of Fame. Are we going to give Nealon Green that much credit already? But that was a Damon Allen escape move right there. And that looked like Damon Allen. How did he get out of there to get this ball off?
And then just put a little too much mustard on it, or he would have had a big game.
There's what he said, Wally Buono, about young Nealon Green.
He does look like a bright star in the CFL in the future. For Ashley, and it's picked off. There are flags everywhere. Aldi Henry stepped up to grab that one. We'll check out the infraction.
Against Calgary.
Too many men, Calgary. First down, Edmonton.
That falls under discipline too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's just lack of concentration in the substitution. Now, what Wally Buono wants to do is Aldi Henry wants to come in the game. He wants to get in the nickel package, an extra defensive back. So he would take out Jason Clement, put in Aldi Henry, who had the interception, but you can't play with 13.
No. That is against the rules, and they should throw a flag on that.
Yeah.
First and 10 at the Calgary 44.
So the Eskimos get it back. First down, Nealon Green. I thought that one hop, we'll call it a catch, Terry Vaughn.
Did that ever look like it one hop from our angle? Look on Terry Vaughn's face is maybe that it did.
Well, sometimes you get away with one.
Well, I'm not sure if it, I mean, from where we were standing here in the booth, it looked like that one bounced, but here's a good look. No.
Oh, no, good clean catch.
Yeah, Vaughn got his hands underneath the ball, and boy, he should have sold me on it.
Gain is 4 yards.
2nd and 5 Eskimos at the Calgary.
Green is good on 7 of 17. Second half. That one is batted up in the air. And Alondra Johnson tried to get a beat on it, was just a little too far away, number 51.
Well, a little bit of pressure. It was more of a stunt, 5-on-5 for the Calgary Stampeders against that offensive line. Alondra Johnson comes in, and it was I believe it was the left arm of Bronzell Miller, who knocks that one down.
Critical situation for the Stampeders here. Right off the noggin.
Well, Londa Johnson had a chance to intercept that one, but this is another big field goal for John Baker if he can hit it.
John Baker barefoot in the park at McMahon Stadium tonight. He's been good on 4 of 4. He nailed one from 54 yards. Bad hold. Will he get this one through? He's wide this time. Critical point here in a 5-point game. Marvin Coleman got out now to about the 12-yard line. You thought he should have stayed in the end zone?
Yeah, he should have stayed in the end. It's a 5-point game, okay? Marvin Coleman right now gets out at around the 15-yard line. If he puts it down his knee, gives up the single, it's a 6-point game. You still need a major, but you get better field position.
Depending on who the penalty is against here, of course, he may get a little bit better field position. We're headed to the final 3 minutes of a great night of football on CFL Live. No, you're right. I was just saying he had a break here.
Yeah, that's a bad move. I don't know if he was told to do that. Because 1 point in a 5-point game, 1 point doesn't matter.
No, field positions matters.
Yeah.
2:54 to go and a rookie at the controls.
Where'd he get to?
Penalty is against Calgary, so he's back to the 5-yard line, right? Holding. Man. What?
Well, here was a bad hold. The bad snap, first of all. Bad hold for John Baker, so he can't get it out because the ball got down there late. Now, this is Marvin Coleman, who really should have given up the single. Because of the penalty, now Calgary's backed up to their 5-yard line. And when you miss a field goal, better keep your head up.
That was the penalty. Greg Frere's on the kicker, and Frere's is heading to the showers. Ejected for that?
Well,
or was there something else?
That surprises me. I mean, does that mean the kicker, you can't hit the kicker? Was that the call?
I would think it had to be something after that, Glenn, based on how he reacted to the fact that he got the penalty.
Well, it had to be.
Some unsportsmanlike conduct comment that was made following that.
Well, I won't speculate on that, but the hit was certainly not illegal.
So the Stampeders need a drive here. They begin at the 5-yard line, and the end zone is a long way away. They trail by 5. Henry Burris in at quarterback. Barely gets out of the end zone. Now has a target and overthrew Vince Danielson by about 10 feet.
Henry Burris would still be running right now.
That was the decision he made correctly there. Should have kept going.
Well, he would still be running. He wouldn't have found an Edmonton Eskimo tackler till about the 25-yard line. You know, this is a series of mental errors in decisions by the Calgary Stampeders. When you think of the Marvin Coleman, now I'm not sure if he was told by the coaching staff to run it out or that was his option. But they'd be looking at the ball in tremendous field position compared to where they are now if he gives up a single, which doesn't matter in the scoreboard.
2:46 on the clock. Stamps are down by 5. Burris facing 2nd and 10. He's out to the 11-yard line with a strike there to Danielson, but he'll be short of a first down.
Yeah.
And Calgary will have to kick it away with 2:40 to go.
Well, yeah, now this is what you do here now is you got to give up the single. You need 7 points, or excuse me, the safety. You need 7 points. At this moment, you need 5, right? Which is a 7-point difference. You need 7 to win. If you give up the safety, now it's a 7-point game.
And you play for the tie?
You play for the tie, or you go for a 2-point convert, but you play for the tie. If you punt it away, you're giving Edmonton field position, and that's what they're going to do.
So a 7-point ball game now. Scott McKenzie giving up 2 points.
Well, this is a smart move by Wally Buono because he knows he needs 7. He's got to get 7. Now it's 7 to tie.
CFL Live on TSN is brought to you in part by Gatorade. Is it in you?
Wally wondering just a little bit about the point that Coleman didn't give up to make it a 6-point ball game, forcing him to give up 2 to make it a 7-point ball game at 37-30.
Exactly. Now that's, you know, and again, you don't want to accuse Marvin Coleman of the decision, or it could have been the coach's decision. We don't know that. What we do know, and what I believe in, is that it was the wrong decision.
These guys like coaching against each other. Wally Buono and Don Matthews. Matthews leads in career wins. Wally leads in other areas.
Grey Cup appearances, 10 between the two of them. Wow.
Wally has really run things in Calgary. He's now in his 10th year after beginning in 1990. On first down, a big stick on Scott Divert.
Well, he made a great decision in giving up the single. He's given his team now a chance for the tie, a chance to stay in it. If he punts that ball out of the end zone, Edmonton takes possession,
runs the clock down.
Basically, they're already in field goal range to ice it, right? It's over. So now, even though a touchdown only ties the game, he's got a chance to send it in overtime, keep his team alive.
2nd and 10, Edmonton. From the 35, Nealon Green sees it open up beautifully. He'll have the first down, sliding across the 50. Another marker hits the turf.
Big block downfield by Keesham Elmistube. The center, the rookie center for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Looks like holding against the Eskimos.
Holding, Edmonton number 60, be 4 yards gain. Repeat, 2nd down.
Watch the block here. Keesham Elmistube on Kevin Johnson, I believe, and look at driving him down the field. I mean, he took Kevin Johnson for a ride. Johnson was on roller skates. One of his teammates got a holding penalty and it won't count. But that was quite a block.
Making this for the Eskimos now 2nd and 20, back at the 25. 2:04 to go.
Fumble.
Loose ball, Eskimos get it back. Divert lost control and got it back.
Well, Kevin Johnson took off his roller skates, went back in, and I believe was involved in this play. Watch Divert, he's going to hit the hole. It was Jeff Traversy up there. Thought it was 44. He's been in a battle. This has been a trench war between them. We've seen some great battles between Steve Anderson and Chris Morris. Keesham Elmistube made a couple nice blocks throughout this game. That one last one we saw. And of course, big Jeff Traversy has been battling in there, trying to chase down a pretty gifted runner in Nealon Green.
Matt Kellett will give the Stampeders another shot at the football. This time they drop 2 back to return. William Hampton joins Marvin Coleman.
They can't afford to let the ball bounce, and that's why there's 2 back there now.
Kellett will give up a couple. The chess game continues. And he'll try and take a little time off the clock. Matt Kellett back to a 5-point game.
You know, and there you go. Now here's the coaching chess game. That's a great way to put it, because now Matthews knows that he has just given Calgary's offense a chance to win the game with a touchdown.
He's betting against a rookie at the controls. He's betting against Burris, right?
He's saying that, okay, I am going to make Henry Burris, who hasn't taken many snaps as a pro, to drive the length of the football field to beat me. Rather than give him the ball at midfield to tie, I'll give him the chance to win, but if he's going to win, he's going to earn it.
Here we go, Stampeder fans, to march the end zone starts here.
The game story, as we see it thus far, there was Nealon Green rushing for 78 and a touchdown. He also passed effectively. John Baker with the 4 field goals. Pitts and Moore, the big catches. Dickinson on the sidelines, and that's where we are right now. Henry Burris quarterbacking the Stampeders into the final couple of minutes. They trail by 5. Burris steps up. Catch is made. It'll be a first down for Travis Moore, and a big block down there. Moore is out to the 50-yard line.
Aubrey Cummings with a huge block. Whoa, man, what a block to Spring Moore. Travis Moore is the guy who comes up with a catch. Watch 87 on the block. Here comes Moore in the curl. He's going to catch it. Now he works to the outside. Here comes Aubrey Cummings, 87, bam! Huge block right there.
And Moore told him which player to take out of there. 1:43 to go after a 25-yard gain. Stampeders first down. Burris may have some room to the far side. He throws it, and too far for Vince Danielson. He had open field to the far side, and he had at least a first down, maybe 20 yards.
You know, he wants to make the big play, and you can understand that. He wants to get it all in one throw, but again, Henry Burris could have run the football. You know, and I believe I heard in my headset from our microphones on the sideline, the whole Stamps bench yelling, "Run the football!" He broke out in the open, had 20 yards in front of him, tried to get it all in one throw.
1:34 left on the clock now. The Eskimos by 5 at 37-32. Stampeders looking at 2nd and 10. At the 50, flags will go down for early movement. Little screen pass to Kelvin Anderson. Got a block. He'll get the first down if the penalty is not against Calgary.
Well, that was, you know, king to rook 4 for, you talk about the chess game. Great call by Wally Buono and George Cortez to run the screen. And I think they had a free one anyway because Edmonton was offside. So Edmonton is offside. They get the free one, but great timing for the screen. Throw it in there, drop it off to Kelvin Anderson and pick it up. The chess game continues.
George Cortez on the Calgary sideline is sending the plays in for Henry Burris. With 1:17 to go, Burris stands in and one hop that for Danielson again. Danielson has been a little unfortunate tonight. A few have gone his way, but they haven't been on the money.
Well, he's been open. He just hasn't seen the football as much as he'd like. But once again, it's on the shoulders of George Cortez to find the play on 2nd and 10 in a crucial situation. But at this point, it's 3-down football, and he knows it. So he doesn't have to try and pick up. I mean, he wants to get the first down, obviously, but they don't. They'll likely gamble.
2nd and 10, Calgary with 1:13 to go. Stamps trailing by 5. Burris has time, and he has Alan Pitts. Pitts, a nice spin move as he dives inside the 20. Wrapped up by Cavis Reed. And Alan Pitts is quiet some nights for a while, but never for an entire football game.
When you have a young quarterback, this is where you want to go. When the game is on the line and it's crucial, you go to your inside receivers.
One more flag is down, however. I didn't spot that one. Or at least the discussion is ensuing down at the 35. There's George Cortez we were talking about a moment ago.
So which chess piece is he moving forward, and which one will Don Matthews counter with? Of course, Don Matthews getting the defensive calls from his coordinator, Rich Stubler, who's up in the booth.
No infraction on the play. First down, Calgary.
There we go. There's good news. But it took a long time to decide there was no infraction.
Henry Burris is asking the big crowd here to quiet down. He may need to make an audible. His players can't hear him.
Stampeders with a first down. Just inside the Edmonton 20. Burris has the touchdown toss. Danielson. All right. He missed him a couple of times. He got him when it counted with a minute on the clock.
Well, there's still 1 minute, but for right now, George Cortez can say, checkmate. For right now.
Take 2. They're going for a 2-point convert.
Well, right now they have the 1-point advantage. It's a smart move. You go for 2, you make it a field goal difference if you get it. The difference between 1 point right now and 2 is huge. 1 point doesn't mean anything. 2-point game is a field goal anyway for the Eskimos. But if they can get the 2-point convert, that's a 3-point difference, and now a tie.
Edmonton has to come back and tie it. So you might as well go for 2 here and hold the 3-point lead. Burris engineered the drive. Can he get 2 more? Hammered that one into the turf. Anderson was the target, and he was nowhere close.
Well, there's still time for the Edmonton Eskimos. 57 seconds is a long time in Canadian football. We went through that game story. Well, you can maybe add Henry Burris to it because he certainly has done a nice job, and he's got a chance, got his team a chance to win this football game in the last drive. Still something to be played, but here comes the full blitz. Burris recognizes it, gets it out of there, and guess what? Vince Danielson recognizes the blitz. Look, he sees the blitz coming, just needs to get inside position and give his quarterback a target. So he sees blitz, I got to get open quick. He gets it off, picks it up, and then gets himself in the end zone.
Nice drive.
Well, you know, you got a guy like Nealon Green who in one play breaks containment, can run all over the football field. There's a lot to be played yet here tonight.
57 seconds on the clock, and here's the question for you. Who do you like in this situation? The Calgary Stampeder defense or the Edmonton Eskimo offense with Nealon Green feeling this kind of pressure on him?
Well,
it's a 1-point ball game, and after the kickoff, you have to answer that one. Who would you take in this situation? Head-to-head matchup, 57 seconds on the clock. Ashley, they fake the reverse. Ashley still has it, lost the ball, bounced right into the hands of the Stampeders. You don't have to answer the question.
I don't have to answer.
Flags are everywhere. Andre Arlane celebrating with a football.
Now, Wally Blotter will just make sure that they can kill 48 seconds that are remaining in this game.
Now, the flags came down after the fumble.
Major foul, face mask, Edmonton 36, first down Calgary.
Justin Ring. There's the old ball game, folks. Stampeders aren't going to give them another chance now with 48 seconds on the clock.
Special teams are made up of special people. Play with heart when you play on special teams. And Jack Kellogg strips it out of there. Arlane picks up the fumble. And now it is checkmate.
They say 5 plays decide a football game, but picking the 5 plays from this one tonight may take us into the wee hours. Burris takes about 6 seconds off the clock. It has really been an interesting football game. The lead has changed hands too many times for us to count here. But David Moyer will figure that out, I'm sure. It's a 1-point ball game. The first of 3 meetings between these two teams, and it's always fun.
Well, and it's been huge. I mean, you look at the 15 points for the Calgary Stampeders in the 4th quarter with a quarterback that hasn't played.
Burris goes down again, 20 seconds now left on the clock at McMahon Stadium. Well, a little bit of everything in this one tonight.
You hear it, if you can read Don Matthews' lips right now, he says field goal block, which of course is their only chance now. Try and block the field goal. And
This scoring drive sets up the win for the Calgary Stampeders with 55 seconds on the clock. 6 plays to cover 75 yards. Danielson makes the catch. 2-point convert was no good. Fumble on the ensuing kickoff gave the ball back to Calgary. Game, set, match.
Now, let me ask you something. Are we getting a quick glimpse of the future, the Canadian Football League, and maybe Henry Burris and Neilon Green?
Well, they were both pretty special tonight, no question about that. Mark McLaughlin for a little insurance.
This matchup is going to be fun to watch.
The lead has changed hands, by the way, 6 times at McMahon tonight. And a couple of grandmasters really did a great job here tonight. These guys were looking forward to playing each other yesterday. It was really evident as they sat beside each other and had nice things to say about both football teams.
Penalties decline, field goals good.
So 1 penalty for good measure. Too many men for the Eskimos. That kind of evens things out.
So they'll never take points off the board, so while they take the field goal, make it a 41-37 ball game at this point. But yeah, this is a matchup that it's going to be fun to watch throughout this year. And you know right now, week 3, these 2 teams are going to play somewhere in the playoffs.
That's almost a guarantee.
You just get that feeling that, you know.
Wally has finished first 7 times in 10 years as the Stampeder head coach. Or 7 times in 9 years, I should say, because this is his 10th year. Neilon Green with 15 seconds to play with, looking deep. Stampeders everywhere. No one could come up with the interception. Aldi Henry knocked it down.
Yeah, they have to be careful with that. Aldi Henry and William Hampton both kind of fighting for the football, and that's where something you can pop the ball up in the air, you get a cheap one, it deflects around, and soon next thing you know, there's an Edmonton receiver heading for the end zone. Make sure you're safe. You take the receiver, knock the ball down.
I have some numbers on Henry Burris. 11 of 20, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Nice job. Drove the Stampeders in for the winning touchdown in relief of the number 1 quarterback, Dave Dickinson. 10 seconds left for Neilon Green. Here's the heat. Green gets away and fired high. So we'll hand the Adidas game ball to Henry Burris in relief.
Sure, came out of the bullpen and won the game for the Calgary Stampeders. And well deserving of the game ball from Adidas.
It is one great game some nights, is it not?
Oh boy, you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
When you put 2 evenly matched teams on the turf. 2 great rivals like these 2. It was about as close as it could possibly be. Stampeders looked like they might be in a little trouble with Dickinson on the sidelines, but then this guy came in and led a few cheers, Henry Burris.
And he's leading one right now. In fact, he's leading a standing ovation.
31,000 on hand here at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. This franchise has done a wonderful job in the 90s. There's no doubt about that. Wally Buono has put a winning product on the field. Stampeders have marketed it well, and I do say that this is the classiest organization in Canadian football at this particular time. Attendance up in Calgary by 2,100 season tickets. CFL attendance is inching upward in most ballparks right now. In fact, in all ballparks. And what does a game like this do for everything?
It sells the game. Not that it needs it, but it sells it. And it was a great one tonight.
1 go for broke play. The Stampeders have their hands on the football. And 0's on the clock. That'll be the time ticked off here. They can't end this one on a penalty, but Glenn, fortunately, there wasn't a marker down there.
Well, it was a lot of fun tonight. Watch Wally Buono and Don Matthews battle it out in their chess game.
Wally should be smiling. He worked real hard for this victory. A thriller at McMahon in Calgary. Stamps come from behind. The lead changed hands 6 times. And Calgary ended up on top 41-37.
Thanks, Roger. Good job. What'd you think, Suits?
Are we done?